Kansas won the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so Tabor Allen will kick off. Jaquez Moore and Jalen Stinson back to receive the kick for the Duke Blue Devils. Toe meets leather, and we're underway here from Wallace Wade. Into the end zone touchback, our first opportunity, Mark, to your point in the open, to see these stars for the Duke Blue Devils offensively.
Yeah, you look at Gunnar Holmberg leading the way out onto the field. He's coming off his career best game. You know, he's only had 3 games, right? But last week, it started to feel like things were clicking. He started to settle in. His completion percentage was really high, and he started throwing some balls over 20 yards. That was kind of the knock. Was he going to be able to complete some big balls downfield? He proved that he could do that last week. Let's see if that continues early in this game.
The fake to Durant, and Holmberg's going to take it himself and got to the outside. Good pickup on first down. They'll move the chains. 13 yards for Gunnar Holmberg, who came in with 71 yards on the ground on the season. Yeah,
that's not something we're usually going to just introduce him with, his running ability. But you see he has that athletic ability. And you see Duke going fast. They are so good at catching defenses off guard with their tempo.
Play fake, looking at Bobo at the top of your screen, just overshoots his favorite target. Romello Dotson on coverage for Kansas.
Oh, he loves Jake Bobo. I mean, these guys, you talk to them, they were recruited together. Actually, Gunnar Holmberg signed first and helped recruit Jake Bobo to get here, and that connection has continued through the 5 years they've been together.
Second down at 10. Holmberg again to throw, this time finding Marweedy, his tight end. And he's going to be close to the chains. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds. Gain of about actually 6 yards on the play, so we stepped out. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for Duke.
Big down for Kansas. Obviously, every 3rd down is big, but to be able to start this game off on the right foot defensively for Kansas, understanding that they could limit the length of this drive, get the ball in their quarterback's hands. This is going to be an interesting play call. It looks like they have single high safety.
Marweedy, the tight end, in motion. Pressure coming. Holmberg has to get rid of it, and does, and he's right at the first down marker. Jalen Calhoun on the receiving end, and that'll move the chains.
Poise in the pocket, number 12. He just sat back there, knew he was going to take a hit. Good job understanding where his receiver is going, and you see that tempo. They're going to try to do this all day.
Fresh set of downs near midfield for Holmberg. Out of the backfield to Durant. Makes the initial man miss and picked up about 3. Gavin Potter on the stop for Kansas. Watch number 19 in white. Potter is all over the field.
Yeah, he is. He's a very fast linebacker. He was the Oklahoma Player of the Year out of high school. A man down for Kansas. You talk about Gavin Potter. Coach said he could be a little bit more physical in between the tackles, but he is speedy. You saw that speed on that last play.
Jacoby Bryant, true freshman cornerback for Kansas, down on the play. And Kansas staff attending to Bryant. We'll take a break. Come right back here. Early action from Wallace Wade. We'll keep it here while they attend to Jacoby Bryant.
This is a secondary that is young for Kansas, and
corner Jacoby Bryant banged up on that last play, was able to walk off on his own power. Good to see that. Deuce Mayberry now in his stead as the Blue Devils with 2nd down and 7 from midfield. Quick fake to Durant, and then outside, that's Bobo. Testing Mayberry right away.
Yeah, we're gonna hear that name a lot. Jake Bobo, Gunnar Holmberg to Jake Bobo. These two, they just have a knack for getting the ball to each other. They are running routes and being efficient.
Fake to Durant, again to Bobo, turns it inside the 30, down to the 27.
Well, they're just putting Bobo out there, and Deuce Mayberry is lined up over top of him, but give him so much cushion that Gunnar Holmberg just is saying, just stop right there, I'll turn and throw you the ball.
Kyra Johnson hurt for Kansas as well. Like we said in the open, they can't afford to be without every one of the bodies they have out there, and Johnson is maybe their best player on the whole defensive side of the field. a quarterback at Duke, but it's been a long road for him. I mean, think about it. Daniel Jones was here when he got here, so we got to learn from Daniel Jones. Had a knee injury. Last year, watch as Chase Bryce transferred in from Clemson. Got some playing time last year, but this is his team this year, and he's a graduate student at Fuqua in the business school here. Very good student, but as you can see his numbers, Mark, finally getting an opportunity, and they're paying off. And they're paying off on this drive, too. They're using Mataeo Durant as a little bit of a decoy until this play with the direct snap. Now, that's a little bit of a wrinkle, and he's still on his feet.
Yeah, it is. They lined him up offset. Good job by the center, Jack Wallabaugh, just to get the ball snapped kind of off center to the running back. Good pickup on first down, and those are the types of things you can do with Mataeo Durant. He's so sure-handed in the backfield. You can snap the ball right to him or hand him off, and he can gain yards.
Oh, that's picked up, not going the distance.
Going to the house.
Holmberg with the mistake. And good hustle just to track down Dotson. But Kansas with the huge turnover early, and now the Jayhawks are in business.
Yeah, miscommunication on the outside. Quarterback and wide receiver were absolutely not on the same page. Looked like the wide receiver was trying to go deep on a stutter route, and Gunnar Holmberg thought it was a comeback. You see that immediate throw. To me, what that tells me is that was a sight adjustment. The wide receiver needs to understand I'm in press coverage, so I'm running this comeback, or at least that's what my quarterback thinks I'm doing. You get back on the sideline, try to figure that out from the pictures.
Romello Dotson's first pick in Kansas now in the red zone. To give to Neal. He stutter steps. Picks up maybe a yard. Big Ben Fry was there to put the stop on.
Yeah, you see that turnover. That was the first interception of the year for Gunnar Holmberg. Good hustle play to chase down, but you're giving Kansas, a team that's struggled at times offensively this year, a really short field to work with.
Give to Neal, cuts back, flag down as he goes inside the 10. Let's check the marker.
Yeah, I think you might have a chop block on the offensive line for Kansas.
Personal foul, clipping, offense number 77, 15-yard penalty, second down.
Bryce Cable do the guilty party. Our first opportunity here from Kevin Marr, our referee. There's a look at Lance Leipold.
Yeah, anytime there's a defender engaged with a blocker, you can't go low on him. Didn't look like much of a penalty. Looked like Duke's defensive lineman kind of fell down. Either way, that backs him up, and
yeah, regardless of how it looked, that's a big penalty now out of the red zone. Neal just trying to find some room in the middle of that defense, and there's nothing there. Shaka Hayward in there along with Josh Blackwell on the stop, so Kansas has gotten behind the chains, and what looked like a real promising beginning has moved backwards, and it's third and forever.
Yeah, and right now the #1 thing for Jason Bean is to not turn the ball over. If you're in field goal range, it's going to be very hard to get a first down regardless. If it's there, you make the play. But look for a safe pass or a run.
This is a pass to Wilson. Stop at the 20. And Duke holds after the turnover to presumably force a field goal attempt. 8 yards on the pitch and catch.
Good job by Duke defensively, obviously aided by the clipping penalty. But anytime you have a turnover on downs or a change of possession, you can stand up and hold a team to a field goal instead of a touchdown. That's a win defensively.
Jacob Borchilla, sophomore from Westerville, Ohio, into attempt a 37-yard kick.
Well, defensively, it's even better when you can hold them to missing a field goal. That's going to be frustrating for this Jayhawk team.
Take another look at it. Just pushed it right.
Yeah, good snap, good hold. He knew it right away. A little acting at the end.
I mean, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
You missed that bad. You gotta. Might as well try to flop.
Now Duke will look to get that running game going on their second offensive possession after the turnover. Potter again on the stop for KU.
It looks to me like the first 15 or so plays that Duke has run have been scripted. That last play eventually is going to turn into a read and throw it out to uncovered wide receiver. Right now they're trying to show a little sample to Kansas in all assets of the offense.
Durant runs through an arm tackle. Finally gang tackled, or at least stopped by Kansas. It'll bring up a third down. So another opportunity for Kansas after the big interception on the last drive to get right back off the field if they can keep Duke from converting here. Bobo in motion. Holmberg to throw. Out to Bobo. Catches it and converts the first down. O.J. Burrows on the stop, but not before Bobo was able to bring it in and move the chains.
Good job understanding the coverage by Gunnar Holmberg. It's man-to-man. You bring your motion receiver across the field. Understand there's going to be traffic. Hits him in the flat. Good pickup for a first down.
Fake to Durant. Now pressure coming. Holmberg hits his receiver, Jalen Calhoun, makes a nice catch.
Good job by Holmberg again on that play. Busted route. Jake Bobo fell down on his release. Settled for a check down, but a check down for 6 yards. That'll work.
Durant just about a yard shy of picking up the first down. Caleb Sampson on the stop for Kansas. I mentioned that before they were using Durant a little bit as a decoy on that first drive. Threw the ball 6 times in a row after handing it to him on the first play of the game. Now they're going back to him a little more often. Again on this play. Has room. Inside 47 yards for Mataeo Durant. That's touchdown number 8 on the season, and we're still in September.
Man, Mataeo Durant can run the football. Great patience on the play, understanding where the hole is going to open up and exploding through to the end zone. Mataeo Durant studied the playbook, studied film so much this offseason that he has transformed his athletic ability and his athletic prowess to a functional athletic ability. So good on the ground.
Charlie Ham in for the PAT, and he splits the uprights. Well, Mataeo Durant.
Wound up and
Fans making their way inside Wallace Wade. What a gorgeous day today. Perfect early fall day for football. And the Blue Devil fans happy with what they're seeing so far. Charlie Ham to kick off for Duke. Keep an eye on Kenny Logan, who will return this one from his own 10. Outside of the 30, and that's where Kansas will take over. Mark, let's take another look at this Durant touchdown.
Yeah, you got to watch on the left side of the screen. You see tight end number 81. He's going to rock back across the formation. Number 19, the linebacker on the right side of the screen, has to fall back into the gap when this happens. He does not do that. He stays front side. Great block. You see the lane between the offensive tackle and the tight end, and Mataeo Durant understands where the help is going to come from. Come for the outside. Bursts away, and then his speed does the reds. It is really good design of the play, really good play call, but even better execution by tight ends, running backs, and this entire offensive line.
Man, 2 new starting tackles for Duke. John Gillott, you saw number 70 on that play with the key block to spring Durant. Now Bean, Jason Bean, the quarterback who can fly on the outside. Oh, we might get a horse collar here at the end of it. It's the first time we've called Bean's number, as Shaka Hayward brought him down. Let's wait till we get the official call from our referee Kevin Marr, but you saw how Jason Bean can fly.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 42, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yes, Hayward got the horse collar here.
Yeah, that's not a horse collar tackle because the hand was on the outside of the jersey. It didn't reach inside of it. But that was called anyways. But you talk about Jason Bean being able to fly. This guy can fly. He's a 10'3", 100-meter high school guy. I mean, that is fast. But you saw Shaka Hayward. I mean, he has speed to chase down that speedy quarterback.
That's pretty amazing right there. Now Bean to throw for the first time. Has time in the pocket and going deep. Just overshoots his man. That time it was Trevor Wilson, the intended receiver.
I really think it's important for Jason Bean to start completing some of these deeper balls downfield. He's kind of been, 45% of it, all the passes over 20 yards. I like seeing them take those shots early. Again, you think Jason Bean, you think he's going to run the ball, try to get the safeties of Duke up, and then throw a deep ball in behind him. But even though that was a miss, I like the play call.
Devin Neal picks up about 5 on second down. It'll bring up third down in the same 5 yards. Dwayne Carter, one of the captains of this Duke Blue Devil team, on the stop.
Yeah, another third down. And you got to imagine at 3rd and 5, this is where Jason Bean can really get outside of the pocket, either use his legs or use his arm to pick up a quick dump pass for a first down. See if they roll out to the right.
Stays in the pocket, looks for the Grim Reaper, and he had it in his hands, and Luke Grimm couldn't bring it in. Boy, he can fly too. If he catches that one, Mark, he's got a lot of room to run.
Yeah, he either has a lot of room to run or he has no more head, because Shaka Hayward was sitting right in the middle. You see number 42 kind of working over that way, but you're right. I mean, that ball kind of settled in behind a little bit high.
Forces Reese Vernon to come on and punt for Kansas. He'll try and pin Duke deep. Angling for the corner, and that's where he puts it. Let's see where the official marks it. Right at the 13-yard line, that's where the Blue Devils will take over. So last drive, Mataeo Durant finished it off. He's finally getting his shot after splitting time with Deion Jackson, Britton Brown. Now he's got his shot.
Well, he's used to being the big fish in a little pond. He comes from a town of 76 people. That blows my mind. I feel like there was that many people in some of my classes at Boston College. But you look at the way he has been producing. You hand him the ball off, he's going to get a first down or a touchdown pretty much every time in terms of his ratio. Fantastic runner, and he's been explosive for this Duke Blue Devil offense so far this season.
That time he could barely get back to the line of scrimmage because Kyra Johnson, who was shaken up earlier in the game, met him right as soon as he picked up the ball.
Let's not put that one on Durant. Jordan Waters was in for that last carry where he wasn't able to gain anything, but it's crazy too because Jordan Waters, redshirt sophomore, Mataeo Durant, he's a senior, but you see so much of what Mataeo Durant can do in their backup running back, Jordan Waters. He's really good out of the backfield. He was actually a wide receiver when he came to Duke's camp, so he is able to catch the ball and run with it.
Holmberg checking up over to the middle, has a receiver, first down. As Kenny Logan Jr. brings down Eli Pankole. Duke will look to go quickly. Give to Waters. Scoots through that line and picks up good yards on first down, about 7 before Kenny Logan is there to bring him down.
You talk about Duke last year and all the turnovers and all the sacks. Well, one way to prevent sacks is to stay in front of the chains. We always talk about not getting behind the chains. But right now, Duke is creating 3rd and shorts, 2nd and shorts, really allowing their entire playbook to be open.
Kenny Logan shaken up on the play.
That would be a huge loss if he's unable to get up and shake this off. He is the heart and soul of this defense at that safety position.
Comes Lance Leipold to check it out. As Logan's on his feet, so that's really good news for Kansas fans. Also huge in the return game for KU. See how it happened.
The way he's walking gingerly, it might be an ankle. You see him come in, I mean, just like textbook tackle. You don't see much there. Could have been when he planted to launch for the tackle. His ankle got stuck in the ground.
Good to see Logan walking off under his own power.
Not only a great safety, but a great kick returner.
Yeah.
Number 3 in the country in terms of kick return.
2nd down and 3, and Holmberg has room along the left side. He gets the first down before being chased out of bounds by Johnson. Showing his athletic ability here, running the football a couple of times in this first half.
Yeah, I like the play calling. Jeff Ferris has taken over the play calling this year. We've seen a real good mix of handoff run, quarterback run, pass, play action. We've seen it all.
Waters now bounces it outside, gets to the corner. Flag down though, this one's going to be coming back for a hold. So Waters shows some good speed getting around the edge, but I think this one's coming back.
Holding. Offense number 79. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Yeah, Carson Van Lin, the transfer from Pitt, had a hold of some white jersey on the outside.
Yeah, and running back coach Calvin McGee, he's going to say, great job on the bounce, but when you bounce the ball outside, your blockers don't know where you are, right? They think you're going to run up inside. You bounce outside. Couldn't get his hands off quick enough. Takes away a big gain.
1st and 20, Durant back in for Duke. Bobo on the outside, cuts it up. About 7 yards. Bobo had 27 catches on the year in just 3 games coming in. You can see why when you see the way this offense operates. Pressure on the outside. Gets to Calhoun. He drops it. Now they're going to call it incomplete.
Getting the ball outside. They're seeing Kansas defense load the box up, and they got man-to-man on the outside. Very good time to take advantage of a blitzing linebacker off the edge. Just unable to come down with the ball.
Duke's 4 for 4 on 3rd down so far in this game, but this one's going to be difficult. 3rd and 13. Holmberg to throw. Now pressure up the middle. Forced out of the pocket. Tried to get it to Pankol and just couldn't get enough on it as he was backpedaling. It'll be 4th down.
Great job by Brian Borland, the defensive coordinator for Kansas, understanding the situation and sending pressure. We haven't seen Kansas send a lot of pressure so far this game, but good job of getting Gunnar Holmberg off his spot, unable to let the routes develop downfield. Good defensive stand. They're going to flip the field position here.
Porter Wilson in to kick for Duke. Outstanding kicking game for the Blue Devils. Wilson gets off a good kick, forcing Kwame Lassiter back to his 7. He'll look to return it. He has room and he gets a block. 25, 30, forced out of bounds at about the 33. Punter Porter Wilson down in coverage after the 23-yard return. Coming up next, our ACC primetime matchup presented by Geico. North Carolina taking on Georgia Tech. Game is also live on the ESPN app, as it always is. Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. Special site for this game.
Man, that thing looks cool. That thing looks cool.
Seen NFL games in that stadium, college games. I saw a monster car crushing event in that stadium too. That's awesome. Bean on the pump, trying to find Wilson, and he makes the catch. Hand fighting all the way down with Jalen Alexander, and a great effort by Wilson to bring it in.
There you go, Jason Bean. All right, throwing the ball downfield over 20 yards with accuracy. He laid that ball right in there for Trevor Wilson. He was the top target versus South Dakota earlier in the year. Great throw, and you see how it hung up there just for an extra second. It's allowed Trevor Wilson to see the ball, the defender to swipe a little bit early, come down with it. Huge game.
Wilson, a handful of players coming from Buffalo with Leipold. Now pressure on the edge. Can Bean escape it? He cannot. Ben Fry with a great sack and bringing down Bean for a big loss.
Ben Fried made the transition from defensive tackle back to defensive end this year after they lost all those big sack guys, Victor Dimukeji, Chris Rumph, Drew Jordan. Well, guess what? Number 93 can do it as well. He is not just a hustle guy. He has got speed and strength. He took down Jason Bean by his shirt tails. He's also self-described a wild man, which makes me just love him even more.
I think from what we've seen, it's pretty evident that he is. Now Bean flushed out of the pocket. He'll look to get a block and make what he can on his own. Unfortunately, it isn't a whole lot. 7 yards on the play before being forced out by Leonard Johnson.
You see the team's speed that Duke has, right? Jason Bean, he is fast. And we already saw Shaka Hayward be able to kind of keep up with him. Ben Fry took his shot, and it's bringing up a very long 3rd down and 20 on the edge of field goal range right now. So this is what we call a 4-point play defensively for Duke if they can stop them from getting a 1st down and hold them to a field goal.
Bean flushed out. Stepped out of bounds as he cut it back inside. And that'll be no gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that's just not great field awareness. You don't want to take a loss on the play, and much better to just throw it away. And you always wonder, right, at that point when the quarterback steps out of bounds, you always wonder who's the closest defender because he gets a free sack on the stat sheet.
Jacob Borchilla in to attempt a 50-yard kick. His career long is 48. Trying to put the Jayhawks on the board. Borchilla puts his leg into it. And he's got it.
What a kick. Nice kick.
Coach Leipold likes it. His team on the road, putting 3 points on the board here with 1:05 left in the 1st quarter.
And you see the snap was a little low. Great job by the holder just getting the ball down. And then that's a walk-off. He banged it through. He knew it right away. There you go.
Yeah.
Give me 3.
That's Reese Vernon, the punter, on the hold. Leipold. We talked about it, I think, earlier, Mark, how this Kansas team has been in some games this year early in the 2nd half, but they couldn't finish. Things fell apart for them, and they lost it in the 4th quarter of these games. That's what they're trying to do here again on the road. Hang in there long enough to make some plays in the 2nd half.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they've started hot offensively. At Coastal Carolina in week 2, it was a 1-possession game to start the 3rd quarter, and then just, the lid fell off the defense. Same thing happened against Baylor last week. A 1-possession game in the 3rd quarter, and Baylor just put up points and ended the game 7-45. It's a loss for Kansas.
Tabor Allen in the kickoff for the Jayhawks. Stinson lets it go over his head. Duke will take over from the 25 tonight after North Carolina, Georgia Tech. Join the quartet of Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and Coach Richt. They'll have complete breakdowns of all 10 ACC games today. It's The Huddle. It's on the ACC network. It's also live on the ESPN app.
There have been some fun games already in the ACC this week.
That Boston College game was wild earlier today. Fumble! Picked up by Kansas, the 2nd turnover of the day for the Duke Blue Devils, and the Jayhawks are again in business. Hayden Hatcher fell on it for Kansas.
All right, Hayden Hatcher in the right place at the right time. Kyra Johnson out. Hayden Hatcher is now in at that boundary defensive end. And just a miscommunication. Right there, you got to clamp down on the football if you're Mataeo Durant. Gunnar Holmberg, I mean, that's something you practice every single day. And they've been practicing that every single day for the past 4 years. It's very uncharacteristic. And now it's up to Jason Bean and this Kansas offense. You see them kind of lined up on the ball. Get up, go quick.
And under center, the give to Devin Neal. He'll have nowhere to go and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Shaka Hayward, who's had a very active 1st half, on the stop.
Yeah, it feels like this drive, especially where they're starting with the football, this is important. Not only just important for the score of this game, but for the confidence of this defense, understanding that if we get the ball back to our guys, we can put some real points on the board. So big if Kansas can get the ball across the goal line into the end zone and not just settle for a field goal at this point.
Bean in the gun. Give to Neal. Nowhere to go. Too many Blue Devils in the backfield, stopping them for a loss of 2. Caleb Open, one of them.
And this is really, you know, the run game is what Lance Leipold's teams have been known for in the past. They're trying to do it. There just have not been running lanes for these running backs to get going up the middle.
That'll be the final play of the first quarter. Kansas 7-3 lead rather for Duke. Time for food for thought by Food Line, Mark.
Yeah, look, Kansas offensively, they need to block the linebackers in the run game. We've seen so far they haven't been able to do that. Shaka Hayward with 5 tackles already.
Here's Lachlan's going to score for Kansas.
And forget about all my keys to the game,
Take
right?
the Food Lion food for thought and put that on hold as Tory Lachlan took the pass from Jason Bean and gave Kansas the lead.
Talk about opportunity. We mentioned Belton Gardner, one of the top 2 running backs on this team, entered the transfer portal this week, so provides opportunities for guys like Tory Lachlan, former quarterback, just walked untouched into the end zone.
Borchilla with the PAT, and just like that, Kansas takes the lead and takes advantage of another Duke turnover.
Duke defensively just did not understand the play. Also, I mean,
big old Earl Bostic Jr. out there in front too, number 68.
He might have been running a route.
He was way downfield.
He was down there, but either way, I mean, good job understanding that Duke was probably going to be aggressive in that situation. Find out where that rush end is and go behind it. And that all started because of this miscommunication, the misstep on the handoff that led to a turnover.
Let's remember last year, turnovers were a real problem for this Duke Blue Devil team. And it's one of the things that they've really turned around in the first 3 games of this year. They've done so much better at taking care of the football. As a matter of fact, they forced 5 turnovers in their last game. A good win here on this field against Northwestern. They won that turnover battle, and now Coach Cutcliffe has to look up there and see that they're losing that battle 2-0 early on in this game, and then they're losing the game.
Yeah, losing the game. It's already 2 fumbles in the game, and you know, turnovers are huge. Turnovers are everything, and turnovers will give teams a chance, even though they might not be as productive on the stat sheet. I mean, you just look at total yards. It's an imbalance right now, but the turnovers make everything even.
Allen over the head of Stinson. Duke will take over after the touchback. We mentioned the numbers, how just gaudy they were in a bad way in 2020 in terms of turnover margin. -19 for Duke in 11 games last year. They had it going this year until today. Things have gone sideways for them.
Yeah, and you see that -2. That's with including today. It's including the -2. They were even in terms of turnover ratio coming into this game. Now, one thing that I noticed, Chris, was after the last turnover, Gunnar Holmberg and this offense, they settled down. They had a long, sustained drive that led to a touchdown. Let's see if this turnover rattles them at all, or if they're able to settle back into what they can do offensively.
From their own 25, they give to Durant. Nothing doing. Kansas buoyed a little bit by the way things have gone here in this first half, and they make the stop. Rich Miller, another one of those Buffalo transfers, on the tackle.
Ooh, Rich Miller, great tackle. I mean, stop for no gain right at the line of scrimmage, but you know, it's interesting. Rich Miller didn't even play at Buffalo, but he is so knowledgeable in this offense. He's become a leader on this D.
Now Durant in motion. Holmberg will keep it himself and bounce outside. Brought down after a pickup of about 7. Taiwan Berryhill was there. It'll bring up 3rd down. Can this KU defense get off the field here?
Yeah, and that last really big need to convert play, Kansas defensively brought pressure. See if they dial up something else in terms of trying to send more than 4 guys. Looks like zone pressure here.
Durant bounces it. Brought down. Kenny Logan Jr., who's been hurt early on in this game, back in the game. And a great job, Romello Dotson was able to bring him down.
Yeah, Romello Dotson, great job off that corner position, just filling in. They call it cloud coverage, cloud support.
Going for it here on 4th down, they are. Durant smashes into that defense and carries Berryhill about 5 yards. That was want to on that play.
Yeah, that was, and there was confidence. Yeah, I don't think anyone on the sideline was saying, let's do anything besides hand the ball off to Mataeo Durant.
Blue Devils convert the 4th down, a fresh set of downs from their own 41. Holmberg to throw. Over the middle, has a receiver wide open. He's hit hard, but he hangs on to it. That was Jordan Waters out of the backfield, and it was Logan who delivered the hit, and he is still down on the field.
Yeah, really good job. This is, a running back wheel route, basically. You start in the backfield. See, watch number 7, and just turns right as he gets behind the linebacker. Good hit. Ooh. Yeah, Kenny Logan Jr. did not have a base after he made that hit. We'll check on his status when we come back.
Logan plays with reckless abandon, and oftentimes that can get the better of you. It's been a rough first half for him. He's been all over the field, but this hit right here sends him to the tent.
Yeah, you see that hit, and it looks like his base he's unable to gain his base. You hope it's not a head injury. Anytime there's that kind of whipping of the neck, it's a concern.
1st and 10 for Duke. Give to Waters. He's met in the backfield and brought down. Caleb Taylor with a nice tackle.
And really for Duke in the running game, it's either been a no-yard gain or a big run. You haven't been able to find that consistency in terms of that 6, 5, 7-yard run on 1st down.
Holmberg the fake to Waters. He'll look to throw. It's Bobo again inside the 30, still on his feet down to the 25.
I really like Gunnar Holmberg on the move. We've seen him run the ball already, but it splits the field in half when you're able to get outside the pocket. It makes the reads a little bit simpler. He's able to find big number 19 out there for a completion.
Give to Waters. Kansas penetrating, but they can't bring him down, so he's going to have a big run here. Inside the 15, down to the 11. Ball's loose. He may have been down. He was ruled down at the 11. Jeremy Webb was the one who brought him down, but it's a good run by Waters, and he's slow to get up.
Yeah, he landed on his
Ruling
helmet.
on the field was that the runner was down
on that hit.
Out. 1st down.
Just make sure the ball does hit the ground. Yep, elbow hits the ground. There, downright by contact.
Durant looks to get outside and does. Cuts it back to the goal line. He scores, but he's got a flag down. I think this is coming back. This looked like a hold on the outside. Let's wait to hear from Kevin
Holding.
Marr.
Offense number 88. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
That's Jake Marweedy, the tight end.
Yeah, it's another example of a running back bouncing outside when the hole's up in the middle. Look at Marweedy. Yeah, there is no running lane. However, Marweedy thinks that Mataeo Durant is going to run up inside. A little out of position. Got the holding call, and that's going to back up Duke even more. And scores have been tough to come by today. Duke can't afford a penalty like that.
Duke can get a 1st down if they can get it to the 1-yard line. So it's 1st and 20 from the 21. Over to the end zone. That's Calhoun, makes the catch and gets hit hard, but hangs on at the 4.
Yeah, and hit again by Kenny Logan Jr. He's back on the field, out of the tent. We told him we'd check on him. Another big hit. And Duke's going fast.
Holmberg to give to Durant. No, he keeps it himself and he'll score easily. Fooled everybody, including me.
Including Durant. Durant he fell down. He got his feet caught up, but good job. Good pull by Gunnar Holmberg, understanding. Look, we're going fast. The hardest thing for the defense to do right now is to react to me pulling the ball. Let me do that. Walked into the end zone.
Charlie Ham for the PAT. Sophomore from Atlanta is true. Duke at home, retakes the lead. It's Holmberg, keeps it himself, then scores easily.
Our stylists are passionate artisans of hair. Cowlick.
Time to take over this offense that makes him so effective. And he said he became a student of the game and he made purposeful relationships with the guys off the field. So his preparation plus the guys on his offense production proving to be a key to success for this Duke team.
Yeah, thanks, Jalen Holmberg, as we mentioned before, graduate student in the business school here at Duke, finally getting that opportunity along with guys like Mataeo Durant. This is your team now.
Yeah, you know, and he's embraced that. Apparently also he's learned to dance in the offseason when he's been waiting, because Cascada came on every time we touched it. He was bobbing his head, bouncing right along with the rest of the student section.
Cascada.
He was jacked for that song. I was too, though.
I love that you know that much about the song, Ham.
Oh, forget about it.
I will. Kenny Logan is going to let that one go into the end zone for the touchback. You can't keep those alligators down, though, when that song comes on. The entire stadium was feeling it.
The entire stadium was feeling it. I was feeling the booth. I saw you.
I was feeling a little bit.
There was a bob. I mean, there was a little bit of a rock and a head bob.
There's a little bit of a rock and a head bob with this Kansas team as well. A little bit of confidence.
Yeah, you're
that
right.
Last drive from Jason Bean and now Devin Neal in the backfield. They've had some big plays. They've enjoyed success on big plays, but they haven't been able to string together really an efficient drive. Let's see if they can do it here with Bean rolling out. Looking for his tight end. He's covered, though. Now checking downfield. And a nice pitch and catch that time, hitting Kwame Lassiter.
That throw was ridiculous. I mean, that was a fantastic throw. As I was watching the play develop, I said, there's no one open. And Kwame Lassiter's barely open, right? That's not an open receiver. There's not much separation, but perfect ball placement by Jason Bean on the move. And Kwame Lassiter, he's a legacy player here, that's for sure. His dad made waves in this Kansas uniform.
Yeah, great defensive back here, many years with the Cardinals in the NFL. Bean quickly over the middle. Trying to get it to Trevor Wilson. And they're going to rule it a catch. Nate Thompson was right there, but Wilson was able to bring it in.
Another good throw. Jason Bean, I think people look at his speed and they think maybe he's not a great pocket passer, but he's proved today that he can stand in there and he can deliver some balls. That was a great slant over the middle and brings up 2nd and 1. That's a shot play. Let's see if they go deep.
Nope, gonna give it to Neal. Cuts it back inside. That's a nice cut back and a little shake and bake there. Good pickup of 10 yards and a first down.
Good job converting the sticks and get a little 3-man backfield, and the holes just develop late. Really good patience by Devin Neal to wait for that hole to open up, to have the patience to let his blockers get out in front of him, and a good pickup.
Bean will roll the pocket. Just can't get it to Wilson. Too much muster on that one.
Yeah, it's got to be caught. It's got to be caught. Pretty good throw by Jason Bean. Maybe not perfect, but it was really Wilson's catch in that first half that sparked this offense.
Yeah, Wilson from Godby High School in Tallahassee, Florida. First goes to Buffalo, now out to Lawrence. That is a circuitous route from a young man from the Panhandle of Florida.
I love when you break out circuitous. Great word.
Here's Lachlan last time he was in the game at tailback. He took a pass to the house. Now on the end around. A lot of room here. He might run this one in the end zone. He will. 36 yards for Lachlan.
All right, Tory Lachlan. How about that? I mean, he's touched the ball twice in this game, and both of them have been for touchdowns. Talk about making the most of an opportunity. Elton Gardner entered transfer portal. Tory Lachlan I mean, this is a guy, he understands football, right? He was a quarterback, then he played receiver and bounced to running back, and they talked about his natural athletic ability. It was just learning how to protect on third down, learning how to set up blocks. On that one, he didn't have to do anything. All he had to do was just run fast into the end zone. There were no Duke Blue Devils anywhere near him.
Borchilla with the PAT. Kansas with some confidence on that sideline. They retake the lead.
Down this touchdown by Tory Lachlan. You see it's a stretch on the perimeter going to the outside. Couple of key blocks. Number 7, Trevor Wilson, pinning Shaka Hayward inside. Then on the outside, Tristan Golightly did not go lightly on that play. He made a fantastic block, and it shot right up the hash where it's supposed to hit. Fantastic run, fantastic play design, but even better blocking on the outside by the skill players led to 6 points.
Kansas had -1 yards rushing for the game at the start of that drive. 46 on that drive, and they retake the lead here on the road. Stinson again lets it go over his head. Pulls back like a 9-iron. At the Ryder Cup. You watch any of the Ryder Cup earlier today? Team USA crushing it.
Yeah, I saw Team USA crushing it.
Are you a guy who'll watch a little of the Ryder Cup even on a big football Saturday, or no, you're straight up football from the start?
Yeah, I'm pretty much straight up football from the start. Depends on how many screens I have at my access. But preparing for this game, I was watching a little game film, watching BC play earlier, some other games.
Was on earlier, watching a little bit of that. That BC game was crazy. And this game has gotten off to a little bit of a wild start too. There, Mataeo Durant with a couple of yards.
It really feels like this year in college football, like every game, there's something about them. Like every single game matters in this 2021 football season.
Holmberg, nope, tried to hit the Mullen, his tight end. Some of the fans over there wanted a call, didn't get it. Third down.
Yeah, and how about that? Like, you're at third down already. This would be huge in terms of gaining momentum for this Kansas Jayhawk team if they can hold them, force them to punt.
Holmberg to throw. Has protection, now forcing the pocket, can run if he chooses. The defender closed down and gets him. Rich Miller tracking him down.
And Gunnar Holmberg looked like he rolled out to the wrong side. He was trying to avoid pressure. But you watch the routes. Everything's going to move to his right side. There's only one wide receiver out there. And just no one. No one around. If he had kind of rolled out and scrambled to the right, he might have more options. But there was no one. Great job by Kansas defensively, forcing the quarterback to move to a spot where he had no options.
Porter Wilson to punt it away after a 3-and-out. Kwame Lassiter to return this punt. That is 33. Can't avoid the first man down. Nice tackle on special teams by the Blue Devils. We'll get another opportunity to see this Kansas offense. 8:12 left to go here in this first half.
This Kansas offense, I mean, they've gotten a little something going. Putting points up on the board. They've been able to move the ball through the air, on the ground when they're needed.
It's an interesting conversation, I'll bet. I'd like to be a fly on the wall on that one. Coach Cutcliffe talking to his quarterback.
Yeah, I'm sure what he's telling him, he said, you got to understand the play. Things break down, you got to roll out, you got to scramble, but in certain situations, you need to know where your help comes from.
Pitch to Neal. Crashes into that left side. Nice pickup on first down of 5 yards.
Offensive lineman out leading the way.
That looked like a play that Vince Lombardi would have been proud of.
Anytime the ball carrier catches a toss and you see 3 or 4 big bodies in front of him, you think, oh boy, you got to get them down on the ground before you can even get to the running back.
Get all the offensive line in front of us. Create a seal here and a seal there. Fake to Devin Neal. Now Bean has time. He's going to go deep. Looking for Wilson. Defended nicely on the play. Wilson had just a step on Jalen Alexander, but he was able to get a hand in there to knock it away.
Oh, and Jalen Alexander back there in that coverage. That's actually Nate Thompson, the nickelback. Got his hand in there a little bit earlier. Probably would have called the penalty if the ball was out in front. That brings up third down, 5 to go. Duke showing pressure.
And we'll get a flag here. False start by Kansas.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty.
Yes,
Third down.
Yeah, and showing the pressure. Duke kind of walked into it and jabbed his foot down. The defender did, and forced Gable to false start. Again, penalties have been big in terms of sustaining drives and then calling back plays and adding on to plays. Man-to-man at the top of the screen.
3rd and 10. Duke coming with some pressure. It's picked up. Just overthrown, too, as the defender stumbled a little bit that time, and Kwame Lassiter had him beat. Beaton couldn't deliver it, though.
Oh, did he have him beat? Kwame Lassiter. Hey, oh, just put a little inside fake on Nate Thompson, and there was nobody around. When you talk about identifying a defense, you understand, okay, there's 3 defenders over there, a man for a man. We have man coverage. You just got to connect on the throw.
Reese Vernon with the punt. Checks back and takes a Duke bounce. Kansas will touch down at the 36 after just the 32-yard punt from Vernon. But this one, in the red zone, Kansas recovers the fumble, and they were able to score off that turnover.
Yeah, and first one, you kill a drive. The second one, you kill momentum. And momentum might even be more of a factor in this game than just that drive, because right now, Kansas just has been explosive when they've had the ball in their hands in the second quarter.
Fake to Durant. Wide open receiver on the backside. That's a tight end. Has him inside the 30. Cole Finney with the catch, his 3rd catch of the year. And the previous 2 catches have gone for big yardage, as does that one, 39 yards.
Awesome use of the play action pass. You got some time back there, throw it deep to your tight end.
Now Duke's on the move, quickly to Durant. Forced wide, he's got nowhere to go. That pursuit catching up with him. Gavin Potter making the play eventually, but a lot of Jayhawks in the backfield. Here's the previous play.
Yeah, with so much run on first down, that play action brought the safeties up and just left the wide open Cole Finley downfield. Gunnar Holmberg found him. Huge gain.
Here's Holmberg out to the outside. Nice catch by Calhoun. He'll be able to bring it to the outside of the 10. Gets a block downfield. He'll score!
Well, Chris, we talk about momentum. How about regaining it? Gunnar Holmberg had some miscues. We talked about the turnovers, threw the interception, fumbled the handoff. But how are you going to bounce back? How are you going to bounce back, especially in crunch time before the half? Fantastic play fake on the play action. Great job of finding his wide receiver on that little screen pass, and great blocking on the outside by Jarrett Gardner to spring his wide receiver into the end zone.
First touchdown of the year for Jalen Calhoun. And back and forth we go. Not sure we anticipated this type of a game, but Duke is now having to fight on their home field in the first half. Ham with the PAT is good. The lead back with the Blue Devils at 21-17.
Good job by Jalen Calhoun, understanding the blocks are going to come in. Watching the top of the screen, number 24, Jarrett Gardner, blocking all the way downfield, completely neutralizing Deuce Mayberry, the cornerback, who was the only one at that point who had the chance to stop Calhoun before he reached the end zone. Gunner likes it. He's happy.
That conversation with his quarterback guru coach David Cutcliffe obviously worked before this drive.
Interestingly, though, for Kansas right now, they can't feel that down on themselves either, right? They have faith in their offense. They have faith in Jason Bean with the way they've been able to move the ball. They feel like they can put more points on the board in the last 6 minutes and 24 seconds of the second quarter.
Jamal Horn back to receive this kick from Ham. Bam in and out of the back of the end zone, 25-yard line for Kansas. Tomorrow on the ACC network, we're going to have women's volleyball at 1 o'clock Eastern. Miami taking on Notre Dame. Then a pair of women's soccer matches follow. Pitt takes on Miami at 3, followed by Duke and Virginia Tech at 5. All games are also live on the ESPN app. Our Sunday best continues on the ACC network. We've seen Duke respond a couple of times after turnovers. Let's see how Kansas can respond now after Duke was able to strike fairly quickly on that last drive. Bean to throw. Over the middle on crossing pattern. That's good for about 9 yards. Lawrence Arnold on the reception. Good patience by Bean. It looked like he wanted to get Lachlan out of the backfield. He was covered initially, checked down and found Lawrence Arnold.
Yeah, good job finding his check down as his third option on that route combination, but also understanding that there was no pressure. That's a development for Jason Bean. A lot of times if that first look's not open, he'll pull down a run. Good job being patient, letting the routes develop.
2nd down and 2. Give to Lachlan. Tough running, maybe a yard. Banged down by Christian Rory and company on that Duke defensive line.
Yeah, also good job by Nate Thompson, that second level, setting the edge. Looked like for a second he was going to peek inside. And good job coming off and making the tackle. And just like that, it's 3rd and 1. Duke bringing in the big boys up front on their defensive line. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive linemen in right now.
Kind of a trick play out here, and Bean was able to keep it himself on the edge and picked up the 1st down. Bizarre. That won't be the last time we see a bizarre kind of formation and play by Kansas today.
No, it's not. And they send the offensive center out early, so his hand's on the ball right away, and then everybody else joins him. See that 4-point stance, thinking it's going to go right up the middle. Bean steps back and says, oh, there's no blue guys out here. I'm just going to run where there's no blue.
Just run where there aren't any people.
Oh, that's how you play football. I get it.
It's almost like it wasn't designed that way, but Bean ad-libbed because he saw an opening. Now he's going to run it again himself. He has great speed on the outside. If he can just get the edge, no one's going to catch him, but he is tripped up after about a 10-yard gain. Lemmy Young was there to bring him down, but that's a nice pickup.
Yeah, it is a nice pickup. I mean, we're not going to call the names of these tight ends very much in the pass game, although they're capable passers, but Mason Fairchild on a great block on the outside, and they use their tight ends and they use their personnel in ways where you manipulate the short side of the field. You bring a tight end out, get him matched up blocking a cornerback, and that's led to some of these outside gains running the ball for Kansas.
Neal trying the inside of that defensive front. Picks up a 1st down. Thompson with the stop, but that's 4 more yards, and they'll move the chains now into Duke territory.
And defensively, Duke cannot get frustrated. You just want to keep making them snap the football. Keep the ball in front of you. And you got to make Jason Bean prove that he can continuously beat you down the field.
Cut's
done a good job so far, though.
Cut was making some notes. Sure he'll address the team at halftime with some of the things he has seen. Here's Bean to throw. Has time, going deep for Wilson. Wilson juggling the ball. Did he make the catch? He came down with it. He did.
Whoa!
Another great catch by Trevor Wilson.
Man, great catch by Trevor Wilson. This ball just laid up there. That, for a quarterback to understand, yes, my guy is covered. However, this is a one-on-one opportunity for a deep ball. You get the defensive back with his back turned. That's Jalen Stinson. And then Trevor Wilson just goes up over the top, and great strength with his hands to hold on to that football.
Kansas back in the red zone. Bean in the gun. Gonna keep it. Looking for a block outside. Can't get it. Lost 2 on the play. Nice job defensively by the Duke Blue Devils. Leonard Johnson out from his corner spot, forcing Bean out.
Yeah, and Leonard Johnson, he plays a boundary corner. It's interesting. Duke plays boundary and field corners and puts the better tackling corner into the boundary where you anticipate him being more involved in the run plays. Kansas has done a good job of running to that field corner, who isn't as used to making those plays, but good job by Leonard Johnson staying in his wheelhouse and bringing down the quarterback for minimal gain.
There's his full house backfield again. Gives to Neal. Patient running, but it isn't going to pay off for him. As Nate Thompson and a whole slew of Blue Devils bring him down after the gain of just a couple of yards. So 3rd down and goal now for Kansas.
I always like to press the gas a little bit in the red zone on 2nd down. If you don't, it could bring up situations like this. 3rd and 8 from the 8-yard line. You got to imagine that you might get Lawrence Arnold, tall wide receiver, involved in this.
He's at the top of your screen. Tight end coming in motion. Neal in the backfield. Bean has a receiver. That's Arnold. Can he get to the pylon? No, he cannot.
Wow.
Big time effort by Jalen Stinson just to meet him at the 1-yard line.
Wow. Well, Jalen Stinson plays a position called the striker. Look at that strike. Fantastic job. And now Lance Leipold has a decision. 4th and 1 from the 1-yard line.
Coach Leipold was having a word with our referee, Kevin Marr. I think he may want to call a timeout here and talk things over.
I don't know, with Metallica on right now in the stadium, you just line up and you run the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, but you as a linebacker, I'm guessing if you were on the other side of the ball and Metallica was on, that would be something. If I was Leipold, I would say I want to call a timeout because I want to diffuse Mark Hertzler.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then, see, this is the smart play. That's exactly why you don't let linebackers call offensive plays like that. But Coach Leipold knows what he's doing in this situation.
4th and 1 from the 1-yard line. 4th and goal, I should say. State Farm halftime reports coming your way. Clemson offense still sputtering today. We'll hear from the fellas in the studio. Florida State, how about their woes? Will they continue today? We'll have first half highlights from this game, as well as the other games around the ACC, including a wild one with Boston College. Did they survive a back-and-forth affair with Mizzou? Highlights of all those games coming up. State Farm halftime report.
There's Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator. Been with Coach Leipold for 9 years, traveled with him to Buffalo and then here to Kansas.
Being under center, 4th down. The handoff to Neal. He'll get into the end zone. It looked like there was a little confusion in the backfield, but Neal was able to get the handoff, and he powers his way in.
Gets that 1 yard that you so desperately need in that situation. Fantastic job of just understanding we're going to run right up the middle behind our big guys up front. And Jason Bean barely got him the football. See him cross the line with it.
5th lead change of the first half in this game, and Borchilla comes on to make it a 3-point advantage for the Jayhawks.
You see Leipold with that big exhale. Like, whew. All right, we got in there.
Kansas was just 1 for 9 on the season. As they're reviewing this play, Kansas, as I mentioned, was just 1 for 9 on the year on 4th down. Picking up their 2nd conversion. It's Neal who scores. Pending review. Let's see what we can see.
These are the type of plays that are so hard to overturn because there's just such a mass of bodies in there. But let's see if we can see the head cross the goal line. Where's the ball?
Can't see it there, so let's see if we can see the ball from this angle. The problem is you won't be able to see the goal line from this angle or the ball. You just see bodies.
Now, if you put both those images together, you can say he got in, but what you definitely can't say is that he definitely didn't get in. That's what you need.
Let's see if we get anything from the head-on angle here. Can't. It looks like the ball's across the line there.
Yeah.
But you certainly, to your point, Mark, you can't say that it definitely isn't. Our replay official today, D. Anderson, hasn't been super busy, but he'll get busy now with 1:04 left to go in this first half.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Our referee, Kevin Marr, puts the kibosh on ABBA. That was playing at the on the PA here.
Just been a great mix-up. This is, I mean, just it's like an early 90s just track marathon. I love it.
ABBA, you're going to have to go a little bit earlier than early 90s.
Yes, well.
Late 70s.
Yeah, well, that.
Although I do hear they have a reunion tour in the works. You have to check that one out. Borchilla with the try and the point. 24-21 the lead. Coach Leipold fired up, and why not? How about this great catch, first of all, from Trevor Wilson? Another great grab.
Yeah, fantastic catch. And, you know, we talked. They knew that they were not done putting points on the board when they got the ball with 6 minutes left in the game. Methodically worked downfield, opened up the big pass play, then punched it in on 4th and 1. And what a conversion. And for Lance Leipold, his message in the locker room to his team is going to be, we need to finish this game. Not just finish the half, finish the game. It's been the 3rd and 4th quarter where they've let it get away from him. Right now, they are looking very good offensively and opportunistic defensively.
Trevor Wilson with a career high 103 yards receiving in just the first half here today. He's made a couple of really big plays to set up Kansas in business, and the Jayhawks have converted their red zone opportunities, and that's why they have the lead.
Yeah, we saw Lance Arnold, what he could do, that redshirt freshman, in their first game against South Dakota. He had 2 fantastic catches in the end zone.
Tabor Allen with a line drive. It's going to scoot into the end zone, so Duke will have 1 minute and 4 seconds left in this first half to see what they can do offensively. Got all 3 timeouts on the board.
Kansas Jayhawk defense right now has got to go through their checklist. To start a 2-minute drive, you always got to be prepared for a screen or a draw play to start it off. And offensive coordinators just say, okay, did we get 10 yards? Okay, let's continue to call timeouts and work the ball downfield. Did we get stopped? All right, let's just take a knee and go into half.
Holmberg fakes it and has a lot of room to run.
Well, that's 10 yards. Clock will stop, and they're going to keep going.
Exactly 10. Now they'll roll it inside of a minute. Now Holmberg will look to throw. Pocket collapsing around him, and he gets brought down right about the line of scrimmage. Maybe loses a yard, forcing Duke to call one of those 3 timeouts. Don't forget, tonight after North Carolina, Georgia Tech join the quartet. Jordan Cornette, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, Mark Richt. Complete breakdown of all 10 ACC games today. It's the Huddle. The ACC Network and also live on the ESPN app. Those 4 good-looking fellows down there in the lower left of your screen about to join us in the State Farm Halftime Report. Back in studio.
They do such a good job in that halftime report.
Great job.
You know, it's fun. You watch these guys, they are so invested in the ACC. All of them played there, coached there. They know it inside and out, and I always look forward to watching that.
It's a fun day that they have back in the studio in Bristol, all sitting around watching games all day long.
They're just thanking their lucky stars that you're not there with them.
Right.
Just kidding. I'm sure they love you.
Holmberg to throw. Tried to go to his go-to guy, just a little out of the reach of Jake Bobo. Jeremy Webb was in coverage. That's a catch that Bobo often makes, just a little bit out of his reach.
Yeah, how about this? Up into that throw, 100% of the catchable targets that have gone to Jake Bobo, he's caught. That was the first drop he's had this entire season.
Now 3rd down. Time to throw. Will he bring it down to run? Out to Durant in the flat. He's going to have to work to get the first down, and he may have gotten there.
Oh, we'll see where they spot this ball.
He stepped out. They're going to have him out at the 41-yard line. As he dove for the sticks. Let's see where that foot goes out of bounds. And right there, just great effort by Mataeo Durant.
And now the question is, what's Kansas going to do when they get the ball back? Because they still have 2 timeouts, and there's going to be about 25 seconds left on this clock, depending upon the type of return they can get. from Kwame Lassiter.
Porter with the kick end over end. Lassiter takes it on a hop. He's got nowhere to go, just surrounded by Blue Devils at his own 13.
You got to imagine that Lance Leipold is just going to be happy going into half right now. 3-point lead.
And KU gets the second half kickoff as well. Coach Leipold, so much success at Wisconsin Whitewater. 6 Division III national championships. Turned Buffalo into a winner in the MAC. And he's got Kansas on the road with the lead here at the half. 24-21 over the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, you talk about Leipold. He is not one to shy away from a challenge at all. This is a job at Kansas that, you know, he said not a lot of coaches are lining up for it, but he knows how to do this type of thing. He knows how to turn programs around. You mentioned Wisconsin Whitewater. He was 109-6 in the time he was there.
He and his Kansas Jayhawks leading here. Let's send it down to Jalen Johnson, who's standing by with Coach Cutcliffe.
Coach, your offense has been able to move the ball well, but turnovers has plagued you guys a little bit. What adjustments do you need to make at the half to limit those?
Well, I mean, you can't make dumb plays. I mean, we've been a little uninspired. Hats off to Kansas. They're playing hard. I'm more concerned about our defense getting some stops. I think we can move the ball and score points if we don't turn it over, but it takes discipline, takes getting that edge back, and we're going to see if we can find it in here at halftime.
With the game being so back and forth, what are the conversations you're having with Gunnar before he has to go back out to keep him poised?
Don't try to make a play. Let him come to you. We don't need him to do anything other than what he's been coached to do, and if he'll do that, it'll work just fine.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, Coach. And Jalen, 24-21. Kansas with the lead at the half. State Farm halftime report after these messages.
Selling on Poshmark is crazy simple. All you have to do is post a picture, add a description, add a price.
Searching for answers. First quarter, Malik Cunningham launches a beautiful one to Tyrell Harrell. In stride, 59 yards. The AB rhyme scheme for 6, EJ.
Yeah, getting over top of the safeties right here, just bends them out. And Cunningham does a great job of laying it out there. But, I mean, guy gets beat by 5 yards. You know, not sure what to say about it. Great throw by Malik Cunningham.
Putting our alum in a tough spot here this afternoon. No question. Cunningham here, more from him. EJ said he's finding his stride. Doing it against the Noles defense helps. Bully ball in for 4 yards to the touchdown. Louisville blanking at that point. The Noles. More Louisville here. Jordan Watkins, put your hands together. Gets the touchdown himself right there. But Florida State is fighting back right now, EJ, showing some signs.
Yeah, well, Ja'Shawn Corbin just had a big run right there, so I think you run the offense through him. Mackenzie Milton doing a good job throwing the football down the red zone, but I think really these running backs are pretty special, so give them more opportunities. I
know we've talked about this in the pregame show, talked about it in these weeks as we've seen Florida State not step up and have losses. You want to see effort. Early on in this one, we absolutely did not see that. Starting to pick up a little bit of life here in this one. We're going to take a quick break. Kansas in control, leading 24-20.
Big turnovers. One that killed a drive early in the game for Duke in the red zone. And then the other one gave the ball to Kansas with a short field to work with, and Kansas turned that into points. That's really been a big part of the story of this game. Kansas will receive the ball here to start the second half, and Logan's going to get an opportunity. Brought down to the 24, and that's where Kansas will start. Let's send it down to Jalen Johnson on the field.
Guys, I talked to Coach Leipold at half, and I said, okay, this has been the story. Been close at half. What is it going to take to finish out this game? And he said they have to maintain the run game, get rid of some of those big plays that Duke has had. And he also said in those running backs, Tory is running really hard along with Devin, and they're really understanding what they have to do to provide for this team, guys.
And Lachlan with a couple of touchdowns, one running, one receiving in that first half. And Devin Neal in the game now to start this second half, flanking Jason Bean in the gun. And Neal's going to get an opportunity here, and he breaks it free to midfield. It's a foot race. 40, 30, 20, and knocked out of bounds inside the 15. 62 yards for Devin Neal, and Kansas is once again in the red zone.
Coach Leipold, how's that for getting the run game going and sticking with it? We talked big plays as we came back from half. What a big play to start this one off for the Jayhawk offense. They wanted to start fast in this second half. What a way to do it. And now it comes down to capitalizing on that huge run. No penalties, no turnovers, get points on the board.
Longest play of the year from scrimmage for Kansas sets him up. Now it's Tory Lachlan in the game, spelling Neal for a moment. Lachlan will get the carry. He's going to have to cut it back inside. He couldn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard. Good pursuit by Dwayne Carter and Shaka Hayward, along with a bunch of other Blue Devils.
Well, Duke, as a school, they're smart, right? The players are smart, academics are smart, the student body's smart. Shaka Hayward knew, okay, this is the same exact formation they lined up when Tory Lachlan had the big 36-yard touchdown run. I know the play. I'm going to react, make a stop in the backfield. It's a big play by a smart linebacker.
Now Neal back in the game after a one-play breather. Bean to throw. Pressure coming off the edge. He eludes it. He'll scramble and eventually just chuck this one away. Carter and Hayward again that time on the pressure.
And again, Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, went back to the plays that have either worked or he's seen openings. That time, Kwame Lassiter, it was that same corner route against the same Nate Thompson that was wide open in the first half. Nate Thompson played it better, forcing a 3rd and 11. And this is a big moment for Duke's defense. Can you stop them after that big run?
Tight end now in motion in the backfield. Give to Neal. He'll cut it back inside. Nice open field tackle by Stinson.
Jalen Stinson had a couple huge plays in this game. Good stop defensively after giving up that long run and holding it to a field goal opportunity.
29 yards for Borchilla. Good snap, good hold. Borchilla splits the uprights. Second field goal of the day. Kansas comes out in the second half on the road. It extends. Very impressive in beating Virginia last night. Syracuse also really good win for them. 3-1 for the Cuse now after the win over Liberty. And BC in a wild one earlier today. The Missouri kicker hit a 58-yard field goal to send that thing into overtime. BC though got the dub.
Yeah, I mean, the ACC has just been a wild ride.
It continues
so far this season.
Clemson's losing to NC State right now. You have Louisville in Tallahassee putting it on Florida State. Knowles trying to come back. Looks like they just scored. That's an 11-point Louisville lead, but you just can't take anything for granted.
No, and another low-scoring game for Clemson. Only 7 points on the board so far. They have yet to get that offense going. Look very beatable already.
Speaking of not taking anything for granted, you look at Kansas coming into this game. Kansas had beaten South Dakota to start the year by 3. All right. They got hammered at Coastal and they got hammered by Baylor, but 2 games they were at least in the second half before those teams exploded.
Yeah, it was really the first drive of the second half on both the Coastal game and the Baylor game. And interesting, they started this game off by deferring the coin toss. They said, we want to have our offense on the field first to start the second half, maybe set the tone. That worked with that long touchdown run.
Speaking of setting the tone, maybe this is Raekwon Boyette, Jeff Ferris, and David Cutcliffe's idea of setting the tone here. Let's get it to Durant and establish a new line of scrimmage and running the football in the second half, but now it brings up a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, part of the problem with running this high tempo, many plays offense is that you get to 3rd down before you know it. I mean, you barely blinked.
Now Durant's out of the backfield, top of your screen, split wide.
Linebacker covering wide receiver.
Holmberg looking to make it on his own, and he does. Nice job cutting up and moving the chains.
Yeah, there's some mismatch options when they got into empty. It'll be interesting if they go back to that empty set later in the game and try to get a wide receiver matched up on a linebacker. And now
Kyra Johnson again.
Yeah, down again.
Defensive end, one of their top players on that side. More accurate with his throws. At least he's not making mistakes.
Yeah, he's not making mistakes. He's not giving the ball away. And he's not taking sacks either. That was the big problem against Coastal Carolina. He took 6 sacks in that game. And since that game, 0 sacks against Baylor and none today. So you eliminate the turnovers and you eliminate the negative plays by your quarterback, and you can see the momentum that Kansas offensively has been able to get.
Holmberg trying to bring momentum back to the Blue Devils. He's under pressure. Now he gets rid of it to Durant. And he'll make a big play out of this into Kansas territory. He might make a huge play out of it. 20. It's a big block downfield all the way inside the 10. That was almost a disaster. And Mataeo Durant and Gunnar Holmberg made a play out of it.
Oh, Gunnar Holmberg, man. Gavin Potter had him dead to rights, but using the pump fake to his advantage, just dishing the ball out. And you see the ball skills. The ball skills from Mataeo Durant, scooping it up, a low pass, and knowing that he's got space in front of him, making move downfield. Really good blocking on the outside, too, by Eli Pankel, number 6.
Romello Dotson involved on the tackle. He's down. We'll check on him when we come. Give the Waters. Stacked up, but still pushing the pile. Gavin Potter did a nice job to hang on, but Waters showing you his power and strength there.
Yeah, Duke's been good so far this season in the red zone. Coming in today, they were 64% touchdowns when they got down there in the red zone.
Kansas defensively has been awful.
Yes.
All 11 times their opponents have gotten into the red zone, they've scored touchdowns, including one earlier today. Holmberg's going to try and make it 2 here. Look at that strength, pushing the pile, maybe getting an extra yard, but it'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, 3rd down and goal, and you find yourself on the right hash. And what does that do to a quarterback? Well, when you're a right-handed quarterback, it's so much easier to roll out to your right. But now it really limits the space you have on the field. So any sort of rollout, probably go towards the left and just take more time to get the ball out. Look for a run up the middle.
Good call. Waters bounces it outside. And he's going to get into the end zone.
Good execution and good response. This Duke Blue Devil team, offensively, they've taken their punches, they've taken their lumps, but when they've gotten in position to score today, they have done so. And again, another big play leading to a short field and then capitalizing down in the red zone.
And we'll try to give Duke the lead back. Low kick is good. 7 plays, 75 yards, and yet another lead change as we continue to go back and forth. Durant with the play first to set him up, Mark.
Yeah, and again, Gunnar Holmberg with the poise, understanding where Durant was, and then Durant using his blockers' leverage, not drawing any holding calls because he wasn't going against their leverage. And then you see the backup Jordan Waters comes in, and he's hardly running like a backup, getting into the end zone for 6 more points.
Waters scoring his first touchdown of the season. Running the football, that is. Had a touchdown reception earlier. Good 1-2 punch.
Doesn't look like Durant's upset at all. He's like, I already got 8 touchdowns this year so far. Let me put you in there for the easy one.
Well, he's had to share the load with Deion Jackson last year, and then a couple of years ago, Britton Brown, who's now at UCLA. He's used to it, and he knows he's got a capable young man and number 7 behind him.
It's actually relieving that you got a guy who's capable behind you, knowing that you don't have to carry that entire burden of rushing on the ground.
High kick. Logan will have a chance again. He'll go right up the middle. Cut down. That looked like Ham making the tackle right at the 30-yard line. It was.
Good to see Kenny Logan Jr. just hop up. He had that lower body injury, looked like in the first half, and I mean, talk about toughness. Kenny Logan, I mean, he's been all over the field, taking his bumps. He will not quit.
Now Jason Bean, a transfer from North Texas, started 7 games at North Texas last year, transferred in to this program here at Kansas. An accomplished sprinter on the track, great runner of the football. Can he bring Kansas back once again? Nate Thompson on the stop on Devin Neal, just a 1-yard gain.
Devin Neal, man, look what he's done so far today. by far his most productive game. And really, it was earlier in this week when Belton Gardner went to the transfer portal that they basically told Devin Neal, look, this is now your job. True freshman out of Lawrence, Kansas, and he has made the most of it today.
Second down and a long 8. Now Neal flanking Bean to the right. Motioning Arnold further out. Fake to Neal. Quickly to Arnold. Goes down and gets it. It's about a 6-7 yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Bean looks like he's had some success with those quick pop throws today.
And Duke's been playing a lot of man-to-man. Every single time Duke's safeties come within 10 yards, Jason Bean pauses the offense, turns to the sidelines. They get a hot read. That was a perfect hot read, a little slant route on the top of the screen by Lance Arnold. Now 3rd and 1, they hustle to the line.
The pitch to Neal. Can he find a crease? He can't. Thompson and Oben forcing him out, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, this is the complimentary play to the dive up the middle. Okay, we're going to toss it to the outside, but it's into the short side of the field. Again, you got to know when you're calling the plays where on the field you are. Just ran out of room into the sidelines, and the Duke defense understood, look, I have a 12th defender on the field. That's going to be the sideline. Forced him out, forced a punt.
Scott Boylan deep to return this kick for Duke. Vernon end over end. That one's going to go out of bounds, and it's not going to be a very good kick. Let's see where the officials mark it, but they're going to come up on this one. Still coming. Still coming. Right at about the 33-yard line. 28 yards on the punt from Reese Vernon. Jess Roy is back for another season, a 3-day weekend, traveling to ACC College Town, letting you know where to go, where to eat, what to do, with some special hidden spots too. Wednesday night she'll explore Pittsburgh, 7 Eastern, right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. I want to watch that because I want to figure out where to go when we go to Pittsburgh.
I made a little guest appearance in the BC version, not been released yet. A little trailer for you.
Holmberg has a receiver open, and that's Bobo. He stays in bounds, and he's brought down inside the 20. O.J. Burrows finally brought him down, but Bobo did a nice job of tight-roping that sideline to get an extra yardage. 49 yards in total.
Great manipulation of the cover 3 defense. Sent him out on a wheel route, wide open, matched up against the linebacker.
Now they want to go quickly. Durant knifes his way into that defensive front for Kansas. Give him about 3.
That quick count. Sometimes you get a 2-3 yard game, but sometimes the defense isn't ready to get back, and you break that long one. Jake Bobo, again, 6 receptions today. That average, I mean, that is pretty impressive.
Quickly outside. That's going to be Harding Jr. Give him about 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and close to 3.
Duke's executed pretty well on these just wide receiver bubble screens or the little jet screens out to the far wide receiver, and they're getting good blocking on the outside. That time Jake Bobo blocked the point of attack, and 3rd and 3. The whole playbook's open. They bring in the 2 big tight ends. Look for them to leak out to the flat.
Durant bounces it. This is going to be trouble for Kansas. Leaps the defender, going to get to the end zone. He's right at the goal line. They're going to mark him just outside. As close as you can get without scoring, and it'll set up Duke 1st and goal.
Just got his foot clipped, barely. Interesting to see if the tip of that football crossed that white line.
Is under further review.
We'll review it. Where is, yeah,
she's short.
Looks like the ball is short.
And probably also making sure that he retained possession of it as he went down. See the way the ball looks like it was kind of coming out there a little bit?
Yeah.
And I think they may rule that the ground caused that ball to come out.
I think he clearly recovered it, even though it looks like he's just relaxing and getting sunbathing. But
if he recovers his own fumble in the end zone, that's a touchdown. See the way the ball's, but it looks like he still retains possession. And I think you're right, just shy of that goal line. if the nose is even 1 inch above the white, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, there's a imaginary plane that goes vertical from that goal line. So all you have to do is break that plane. And it does look like it's clearly short of that. But what an effort. And this is a guy who scored multiple times on the ground and just...
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was short of the goal line. First down.
But that want to get in the end zone, to dive like that, he understands the importance of this game in this moment.
Duke with a golden opportunity here to extend their lead. Durant back in the game. Looking to finish off this drive.
Do you hand the ball off to him after that effort? I feel like the easy thing is just do quarterback sneak, and he's lined up so tight it looks like a sneak.
That's exactly what it's going to be. The officials haven't given a signal yet.
Oh, they're signaling short.
Holmberg came in. Now they're signaling a score. Took the linesman a moment to make sure that Holmberg got across, and he did. Second rushing touchdown of the day for Gunnar Holmberg.
Good initial stop by Kansas's defensive line, but you see that push right up front.
Jalot, number 70, also throwing a little weight around. Durant with the bush push from behind.
The bush push, which is legal now.
The lead is 7. And will look to make it 8. And he does. See if we can get another angle of that touchdown by Holmberg.
Yeah, all scoring plays are reviewed, so they looked at it up in the booth, didn't necessarily see anything to prove otherwise, but I don't know where you would say forward progress was stopped. I mean, he's still moving forward, but usually they'll blow it dead when he's stopped and moving backwards.
Like right there.
Right there. I would say forward progress is stopped. Now, where's the ball? It's probably too hard to decipher where that tip of the football is, but either way, that is his jersey. You see that?
I was going to ask
dirty.
you, it can be a bad thing when your quarterback's jersey is dirty, but in some ways it can be a good thing too, can't it?
And usually it's bad when the back of his jersey's dirty, right? Because that means that he hit the ground
on his back
at some point. But it's been because he's been running the ball. You know, it hasn't been a heavy laden sack team. Duke's only given up 1 sack in this game, and that's just a grinder. His jersey's dirtier than Jake Bobo's jersey. That's gonna be some bragging rights.
Kenny Logan back to receive this kickoff. He has a touchdown on a kickoff return a couple of years ago against Iowa State. An 83-yard return against South Dakota earlier this year.
Yeah, he's capable. You talk about toughness. I mean, how many times have we seen Kenny Logan Jr. having to hobble off the field, and he said, "Coach, put me back in there for kickoff return."
They need a big play from him, but they're not going to get it here because Ham just blasts this one out of the back of the end zone.
Now it's Kansas's turn to answer. I mean, it's just been back and forth and back and forth.
And this second half now has been, you know, it looks like Duke, have they taken control? They wrested control of this game on their home turf from Kansas, and Jason Bean is going to have to make a play now, and along with Devin Neal, to get a little bit of that momentum back.
And Duke defensively, it's stopping the big plays. Kansas has only converted 2 third downs all game and has significantly less yardage.
Bean has time. Now he's going to run away. He's going to show you that speed. He's got one-on-one on the outside. He's just going to take what he can get. That's about 4 yards. Shaka Hayward, he's shown his speed today, chasing Bean all over the field.
Yeah, he's fast. I mean, he's kind of lean, 6'4", 220, but I mean, he can fly. And Jason Bean, I mean, we mentioned earlier, like a 10-3 100-meter sprint. That is lightning.
Yeah, he's less quick than he is fast.
Yes.
His top end speed, number 17, is world class. Now Tory Lachlan in the game. He'll get the carry. Right into the teeth of that defense. Picks up a yard, maybe 2. It'll bring up 3rd down. Peebles involved in the tackle. Coach Leipold trying to dial something up, trying to figure out how to get a sustained drive going here and convert this third down to keep Kansas hopes alive here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and you have to understand, too, you're still in this game. You don't need to convert this. You want to convert this, but you can also flip the field position with a great punt. Just don't be risky with the football if you're Jason Bean.
Bean to throw from the pocket. And he throws an interception. And that's shotgun.
Well, the one thing we just said you can't do. And it's hard, right? It's hard for Jason Bean at quarterback for this team to take a step back and understand, look, man, we don't need to force it. Look what he sees. He has a bunch out to his right. There's going to be 3 receivers that unfold. And a zone coverage by Hayward and just melts right into the passing window. Got right in front of Trevor Wilson and intercepted the football. And when you play for a team that's not used to winning like Kansas, you think every single play is so important. That play, you could have settled to punt the ball and play some defense.
Now Durant. Inside the 5, mark him down at about the 3.5. Gut check time for this Kansas defense, isn't it?
It sure is, and especially we mentioned earlier, this is Duke's bread and butter, scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
For the 3rd time today, Holmberg keeps it and finds the end zone.
It's really interesting when you watch this Duke offense. There is so much importance placed on the red zone. When I played for the New York Giants, we used to call it New York City, Manhattan real estate. Every single yard, every single square foot of your apartment is that much more pricey, because if you give up a yard, they get that much closer to the end zone. Well, Duke executes. They understand the importance of yardage, of gaining yardage, of no negative plays when they get down there inside the 10. Fantastic job of executing, getting the end zone.
21 straight points for the Duke Blue Devils.
The Blue guys.
First the pick.
Great job. Good job understanding the pass concept, understanding where the quarterback was looking, melting over to that side and setting up his offense for a 1st and goal, capitalized by Gunnar Holmberg on the ground.
He's had a huge day. That's his 4th touchdown responsible for.
You see Raekwon Boyette, co-offensive coordinator, giving some love to his quarterback. And Shaka Hayward, we've mentioned his speed. He has been all over the field today defensively. 7 tackles, and that interception probably his biggest play of the day.
There you see Holmberg's day, almost 300 yards passing, 54 yards rushing, 3 scores on the ground, picks up the red phone. Probably having a word or two with Jeff Ferris, who's upstairs here.
And right now, right, Coach Leipold absolutely needs to calm his players down. They are still in it. I mean, the amount of big plays that Kansas has been able to produce, they're right there.
Can Logan give him one here? Cannot. Special teams continues to be a strong suit for this Duke team. Ham again involved on the tackle. And Kansas will start deep from their own territory.
And you see how well they've done at protecting the football, especially when it's been in Jason Bean's hands. That was a misguided throw, but that comes down to a player with not a ton of experience going out and trying to make a play on 3rd down, and threw into some tight coverage.
Still only down 2 touchdowns, though. And they're still in this game, and this is a big reason why, because Devin Neal has had a heck of a game. That's close to 100 yards for him now on the day.
Defensively for Duke, anytime you see one of these big guards pulling, whether it's Malik Clark or Michael Ford, you got to get your radars up. They have done a poor job of following the guard and tackling the running back. Every single time they run that gap scheme, it's been 5 or 6 or 7 yards.
102 for Neal, first 100-yard game of his career, the freshman out of Lawrence. #1 high school player in the state of Kansas last year. Hometown kid. Here's Bean. Quickly out. That's Arnold. Plays worked a few times today. Works once again.
Yeah, and there's a couple ways that you can settle down your quarterback. You can get him on the sideline. You can really talk to him, have enough time to take that deep breath. Or, as an offensive coordinator, Anto Kodanicki, he can call plays that are really effective. Get the gap scheme run going. Get him rolling out. Get your quarterback rolling out an easy completion. Picking up first downs is going to build that confidence back in Jason Bean.
Bean rolls. Another quick pass to a receiver open. Can he make something happen after the catch? He cannot, because Jalen Stinson is there again. He's had a really good game tackling in space, and he takes Kwame Lassiter down on this play.
Yeah, Jalen Stinson, he's a guy that you're really seeing some of his first action on defense this year. Last year, I mean, he is a fantastic gunner on the punt team. That guy lines up on the outside, goes down and makes some tackles. Last year, he was all world on special teams, and that tackling ability has shown up really well when he's out there on defense for Duke.
Second down and 8.
The wishbone set again. 3 backs in the backfield.
Bean will look to throw. Pressure coming out from the backside. That pass is low. And it looks like the officials are going to give him a catch. No, now they come in and wave it off. Trying to get it to Trevor Cardell, his tight end. Let's take another look.
Ooh, Trevor Cardell. That, to me, is a catch. He got his hands underneath the football, and there's one. You talk to receivers, you tell them to wear gloves different, like totally different color than the turf, because you can clearly see those white gloves under there. I'm surprised this isn't being reviewed.
Not yet on 3rd down and 8. Bean with the snap. Gets it underneath. That's not going to be nearly enough for a first down. Shaka was there again on the tackle.
Maturity from Bean on that throw. Again, you didn't pick up a first down, but you understand that it's only the 3rd quarter. It's a 2-score game. This is something where you make the easy completion, pick up a couple yards, try to flip the field position, and then you got to rely on your defense to make a stop. So yes, you want to pick up the first down. You want to make a play, but you can't force it. Good job taking what the defense gives you.
Well, now they need Reese Vernon here with a big kick.
That was high, but not very long.
Fair catch made by Boylan, and he gets trucked. Ball is loose. I don't even see a flag out on the play.
No, there's no flag, but there was also no beanbag thrown where the returner was. It usually signals that no Duke Blue Devil touched the football, so that'll just be a recovery or a downing of the punt by Kansas.
I want to see this one again. Are they going to rule that a player got blocked into his own man, or that a Duke player ran into Boylan himself? Okay. There's a fair catch.
So yes, but the ball, you see, where's the ball hit? Because if that ball hits Trevor Cardell, number 45 on Kansas, no, that ball hit Boylan
in the head, in the helmet,
which would make it a live football if that's deemed being blocked in. I don't think any Kansas player touched the return man, so now it bounces off his helmet, clearly recovered by Kansas, by their long snapper, Luke Hosford.
Here's a side judge with his hat off.
His hat's probably off because that means someone stepped out of bounds as they were covering a punt.
It's over here at the 10-yard line. He's marked something over there at about the 11-yard line. All kinds of confusion here, folks. Hopefully we'll be able to sort it out for you in a second.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to look at. Obviously, fair catch interference is one thing. Did they give him enough space to make the catch? However, I think they did.
Now a flag comes out.
Oh, interesting.
Kick catching interference, kicking team number 25. 15-yard penalty, first down Duke.
Ultimately, the kick catch interference is the call, and Coach Leipold can't believe it. He's not happy about it.
Well, it's obviously a huge play. You see 25 in the middle of your screen. He tries to get out of the way. However, He does make contact with the returner while the fair catch signal has already been made, and he's in the process of making the catch. So that is the right call. On initial look, I hadn't seen the returner kind of slide over to try to make that catch. But
you're not telling Coach Leipold it's the right call right now. I wouldn't.
And it's one of those plays where, again, by the rule, yes, there was contact made. That, however, isn't what caused the returner to not catch the football. It was his own player being ran back into him. Wow, what a turn of events.
Yeah, originally on the field, it was ruled that it would be Duke football well back from where they're going to mark it right now. But then on replay, the football clearly hit the Duke player in the head, so it would have been Kansas football going all the way back around the 20-yard line. Ultimately, though, with the penalty, it's Duke football to start this drive from their own 43. The give to Durant. That Kansas defense bows up on that play, no gain.
They have tried that inside zone run many times and just has not been there. Most of Duke's runs have come out of either a guard pull on a down and around or an outside run.
Durant now in motion out of the backfield. Holmberg to keep it. He's had success on the ground today. Again here on second down. Rich Miller was there to bring him down, but he picks up about 4.5, close to 5. Third down now for the Blue Devils.
A lot of cushion at the top of your screen. Jake Bobo out there.
Final minute of this third quarter. Underneath. It's his tight end. Dommelin makes the catch. 7 yards and a good conversion. First down.
Yeah, right at the yard marker. Good catch right in between two defenders. Gunnar Holmberg just fired that ball in there.
Now Dommelin in motion. Can be a lead blocker for Durant. Again, just maybe 2 yards. Running inside has been tough. Durant has really gotten loose. Other than that first, 57-yard touchdown run, it's really been more on the outside when he bounces it outside. That's going to be the final play of this third quarter. An eventful quarter and what has been an eventful game. Yeah, Jake Bobo. 6 catches for 97 yards for Bobo. That third taking control of this game. Not out of the question, though, that Kansas could come back. So this is a big drive for Gunnar Holmberg and this Blue Devil team. Holmberg rolling the pocket. Now getting pressure. He's going to have to throw this one away. Pressuring on that play, Caleb Taylor. Showing his quickness to get into the backfield.
Again, so many less options when you roll to your non-dominant side. That was a designed sprint out to Gunnar Holmberg's left. That's almost never called in the NFL because the hashes are tighter together. There's not really a big field, but in that case, you gotta not limit your quarterback's options.
3rd and 8. Kansas showing a little pressure. They bring it. Holmberg, though, gets rid of it. Nice play. Finds his receiver. That's Calhoun. Makes a man miss and makes another one miss before going out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Gunnar Holmberg having faith in his playmakers to make plays, and that was Jalen Calhoun. Coach says he's the most consistent playmaker, so why not let him do it? Great job. Picked up the first down by Calhoun.
Holmberg again over the middle. Tight end Dommelin. He's used his tight ends quite a bit today. Marweedy, Finney, and Dommelin all have catches.
And understanding zone versus man coverage. That was a zone. Your tight end sets up, get him the ball right now. But the man, you can hold on to it a little bit longer, let the routes develop. Looks like man.
Durant, big hole. Crashes into Logan. Ball came out, but it rolled out of bounds. He'll mark it at about the 12.5.
Kansas comes out in man coverage, so everybody's back turned to the running back. Gunnar Holmberg hands the ball off, and man, Kenny Logan Jr. getting the ball out, but rolled out of bounds. Duke got lucky. Flag down, though.
Offense number 79, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Holding on Carson Van Lin. They'll move Duke back. Big play wiped off the board. They're going to give Mataeo Durant a little bit of a break. Bring in Jordan Waters. After all is said and done, it's 2nd down and 6. Waters changes that. Falls forward right at the marker. And they're going to move the chains. 1st down. Duke team that has gone over 500 yards of total offense now for the 3rd time this season. Holmberg keeps it, has all kinds of room. Finally tracked down by Jeremy Robinson, but a good 6 yards on 1st down.
Focus on ball security at this point if you're Gunnar Holmberg and you're pulling that rock. A little bit loose on that last carry. Expect a steady dose of this split zone run.
To Waters. Stays on his feet. Gets about 3 yards. Well, you can see whenever Kenny Logan Jr. goes in there, he is ripping at that ball. Playmaker.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. They work on turnover drills. Big focus that Kansas defense has had. I mean, he's a guy who he understands how to make plays on defense. He's a playmaker defensively, and getting the ball out, no better way to make a play.
3rd down and 2. Waters.
Penalty flag down.
Yeah, Waters got the 1st down, but let's check that marker first.
That's in the area of illegal formation.
Elimination. Offense, more than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
Right on the money. Kevin Marr letting you know.
Yeah, you can't do that. You get in these situations, you can't do it. Let's see, guys in the backfield, no receiver to the top of the screen is on the ball. That's the problem. They're in an unbalanced formation. You got to have one of those receivers towards the top of the screen declare that he's on the ball. You just turn, look outside of the ref and say, I'm on the ball. Whether you're there or not, they'll basically say, okay, you're good. No one did that. And now after that penalty and the other penalty, now we got 3rd down.
3rd down and 7. Waters, big hole. Near the marker. I think Gavin Potter might have tracked him down, but you saw Jack Wallapaw, the center, big hole number 50, leading him right into that hole. It will be 4th down.
Yeah, it's been successful when they've gotten moving sideways, the offensive line, getting up to the linebackers, and you see the sideline. Duke's sideline is getting the fans going counterproductively, actually, because you want the crowd to maybe be quiet in this situation so you can get the play calls off. And they'll probably run this down, take a timeout, and really think about what their decision is on this 4th down.
That's what Coach Cutcliffe is going to do. Calls a timeout.
Timeout.
At the 11-18 mark of this 4th quarter. Lead is 15 for Duke, and they're looking to extend that on this drive. Got to convert this 4th and 2, though, to do it. We'll take a quick finalist last year. This 30-yard attempt right here will put Duke up 45-27 if he can connect.
Yeah, that's the right call. That'll make a 3-score game.
Good snap, good hold. Ham puts his leg through it, no problem. Coach Leipold encouraging his special teams unit. Task is just that much more daunting, though, as Holmberg and company have taken control here in the 2nd half. All right, coming up next, it's our ACC primetime matchup presented by Geico. North Carolina taking on Georgia Tech. How about Howell and Yates? Will it be Yates or will it be Sims? Yates has played pretty well since Sims got injured in the opener, so we'll see what Georgia Tech opts to do. Game also live on the ESPN app. It's coming up at 7:30. It's all presented by Geico.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Jeff Sims, very electric, dynamic playmaker, but turned the ball over a lot last year, and see if he gets back out there and regains that starting spot, or if they work him in. You know, Yates and him could split time and use what they are both good at. talked about Kansas, right? How can Kansas improve? They need to finish the games, and that we thought at the beginning of that third quarter they had that long touchdown drive, and they were very explosive. However, since that drive, it's been touchdown, 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 field goal, Duke on every single time they've gotten the ball. So again, it's been another kind of chasm in the defense, allowing Duke to get lots of points on the board in the third quarter.
Jason Bean, 178 yards passing, has the score, but 1 pick. Only 6 yards rushing on 8 carries. That's the one thing that Duke defense has been able to do, is contain him from getting big plays with his legs. And guys like Shaka Hayward are showing their speed and being able to track him down and contain him. Up the middle with Neal. Big old Ben Fry putting his hands on him, getting about maybe 2 yards. Fry, also a member of this Duke wrestling team. Finished second in the state of Ohio as a heavyweight wrestler. There you get a good look at that young man.
I feel like he's always grimacing.
Grimacing. He's probably angry that he's so clean. That uniform is way too clean for him.
Yeah, way too clean. He's used to being all dirty, muddied up, soaking wet.
Bean is going to run it. Needs a block on the outside. Gets the first down.
Chris, your analysis on why Jason Bean hasn't gained the yards we're used to is exactly right. I mean, Shaka Hayward manning the middle of that Duke defense, his speed has nullified anything on the perimeter. And that's where Jason Bean is really effective. He can get around the corners and make his way up the sidelines, but good edges have been set, and then the inside-out pursuit by Shaka Hayward has been there the entire night.
Give to Neal, stretching it outside. He'll pick up about 3. He's already gone over the century mark today. His first 100-yard game of his young career. Freshman out of Lawrence. Kansas fans hope it'll be the first of many for that man.
Yeah, he aims to be part of this Kansas turnaround. And he grew up in the shadow of the university, and he has his eyes set on the future for this team and getting back more wins and more success for his Jayhawk squad.
Lachlan stays on his feet, but just way too much pursuit by that Duke defense. Give him maybe a yard. Gary Smith once again in on the tackle. You mentioned Devin Neal. Coach, talking to these coaches and the assistants, and Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, they need to dominate the state of Kansas and the St. Louis and Kansas City areas in terms of recruiting. And then they need to look at that corridor in the middle of the country, basically Chicago down to Texas, and do work there. But they need to dominate the area around. And that's why it's so important that a kid like Devin Neal stays home. He's the #1 recruit in the state of Kansas and goes to Kansas.
Exactly right.
Third down now for this Jayhawk team. Bean has all kinds of time. Has a receiver deep too. Connect. That's going to be a touchdown to Kwame Lassiter.
You talk about guys where they're from, their big plays. Well, they needed a quarterback. They went down to Texas, right in the middle of the country, found Jason Bean, got him to transfer from North Texas, and every single time he makes a play like that, you learn a little bit more about what you have at that play caller position. You're in a situation. You're down 3 scores. You need to strike fast. You're patient on downs and wait for the big playoff play action. Hitting your star wide receiver, Kwame Lassiter, who was one-on-one behind the coverage. Fantastic play. Great read by Jason Bean.
And now Lassiter had to quickly come back in and cut his celebration short. They're going for 2. We'll get a timeout here. Official timeout. Let's take another look at Lassiter's big score.
Again, Lassiter, not the fastest guy, not the twitchiest guy, but he understands coverage. He's been doing this for so long, and with a dad who was so successful at defensive back, you better believe he understands leverage of the DBs and works towards the football when it's in the air. You talk about being friendly to your quarterback. He got friendly to the ball in the air, helped out that quarterback. And now a big 2-point play. Right now we have a 12-point game. If they can get this in, you're down to a touchdown and a field goal. And the thing is, if you don't get it, 1 point's not going to do anything for you, right? You're still going to need 2 touchdowns. So this is really a no-lose situation for Kansas.
Our official timeout continues here. I'm looking to see, do we have a field situation here? We may have had somebody get sick on the field. As one of our officials brings a towel out there and does a little maintenance on the field. In the meantime, let's send it to the studio. Jordan, what do you got?
Connor, our Fansville studio update, NC State and Clemson. For the win, NC State, their first win over an AP Top 10 since 2012. Chris Dunn for 39 yards. No! We're headed to extra football. Chris Connor, Mark Herzling. Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it. What an opportunity for NC State, and they'll have to win it now in overtime. Stop having, why don't you guys try and have a little bit of fun in the studio there?
Oh my goodness. Dave Doran must be pulling his hair out.
Now we're ready for the 2-point try. Bean's going to roll the pocket. That play, no shot. The lead is 12. After the long pass.
Fantastic catch when Gunnar Holmberg was under pressure, taking it all the way down, putting his team into scoring area. And then Durant, just the effort, the constant effort, touched the ball 22 times this game. He's got to be tired.
Maybe taking a little bit of a breather here, but I'm sure we'll see him still with 8:42 left to go. Duke can't take their foot off the pedal just yet. And you can see he's just been remarkably consistent. Comes into this game with 8 total touchdowns too, so he adds to that total.
Duke's got to be ready in case any surprise onside kick.
Tabor Allen kicks it deep, fair catch. Jalen Johnson has more on Mataeo Durant. Jalen?
Yeah, Mataeo Durant has been putting up big numbers on the field, and he's doing it in the name of his hometown, Plum Branch, South Carolina. You guys were talking about it a little bit earlier, how small it is, and I asked him, usually when guys are from somewhere that small, they put the next largest city as where they're from, and he said, no, I'm Plum Branch all the way. He has a tattoo on his bicep, and it was the first tattoo that he ever got. He said he wanted it to be something meaningful, and you guys talked about how big his hometown was. How about his graduating class being 45 kids?
That's great. Getting his way here to Durham from Plum Branch. Right on the Georgia-South Carolina border.
Yeah, and when you have 76 people in town and 45 people in your graduating class, you're bringing people in to school from outside your town to just be able to fill a class
places
size.
like that, it's a county school. That's everybody from the county is going to your school. Durant here just gets through that line, fights for more yardage. A first down, 9 more yards added on to the tally. That's 120 on the game.
Again, going back to the gap scheme run, getting away from that zone, following his guards up the middle. The inside zone just hasn't worked so far today, and they've changed it up. And watch the pulling guard. See 71 and 82 coming around. And good job of getting up on the second level by Carson Van Lin, the tackle, number 79, just washing the linebacker to the side. Another injury on the field. We'll check on that when we come.
Coach Cutcliffe in his 14th season here at Duke, and you can see what the Blue Devils were all about before he got here. 2-time ACC Coach of the Year. His team wins games. They go to bowl games, and he said, you know, when we talked to him, Mark, he wants to get back to having more fun. He felt like maybe last year was such a bad year for him, but this year they've been able to bring that fun back. And here is Waters. Good run for Waters, another first down.
Well, it's easy to have fun when your running backs are running like they are. But you're right. I mean, he talked about reminiscing on when he first got to Duke. He said we had 3 words. It was discipline, conditioning, and culture. And we need to condition and discipline first so we have the resilience to build that culture. He said I got away from that a little bit last year, but now I'm back. And Duke's culture has been very good so far this season.
Waters dropped for about a 2-yard gain. It's interesting, too, Lance Leipold in his first year with Kansas, talked a lot about Matt Gildersleeve, who was his strength and conditioning coach at Buffalo, and it was important for him to bring him in here and get the conditioning on track for this Kansas team too. So I like those parallels.
Yeah, and you talk about Gildersleeve, you kind of forget how important that strength and conditioning coach is towards building the culture, especially because Lance Leipold, he didn't get even the job until April 30th. So he had almost no time during June or July, where it's the dead period. Coaches can't interact with the players. So it was all on Matt Gildersleeve, and that's going to
Logan's going to draw a foul on that one. Logan with a heavy hit on Holmberg.
Yeah, and I'm getting a replay of that, but that should be just a late hit, not a targeting, because he led with his shoulder, didn't hit in the head.
Crowd reacting here at Wallace Wade as the officials talked this thing over. Had several flags dropped, so the officials saw this from a couple of different angles, and at least two of them thought this was a penalty. So let's see what it comes out to. Here's another look at it. No, that
personal
might be
foul, late hit with targeting, defense number 1. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, they're going to review that play, and once he starts the slide motion, he's protected. Yep.
He leads with that helmet.
Yeah. So and interesting, a very similar call earlier in the day against Boston College was taken back because they did not deem it forcible contact to the head or neck. And live, Chris, honestly, live, it looks like he hit shoulder to shoulder, and that's where the forcible contact is. But when you slow it down, you see the head snap to the left, and with the contact from the crown of the helmet, there's an indicator. There's a defenseless player right now. Defenseless as he starts the slide. Again, are you determining that it's an actual slide? Because he's kind of falling.
Right.
So,
I would think it's more the crown of the helmet than the defenseless player. Would you agree with that if you're going to give it a percentage of what it's more of?
Right, because if he's not defenseless, you still can't hit him with the crown of your helmet in the head or neck area. Now, if he is defenseless, then you can't hit him with any part of your body in the head or neck area. And so that's going to be the determination. Yes, there was contact made with the helmet on the quarterback's helmet. Was he defenseless or not? And was that contact significant or not? And to me, I think Kenny Logan Jr. will be ejected.
That is a tough call, though, to call Holmberg defenseless in that situation. I mean, you got a safety coming hard to try and stop a ball carrier. Did he start his slide? Was it a slide? Was it a fall?
Yeah, and once the slide is initiated, you can't continuously start a move to make contact. If you're already in the process of making that move to make contact and the slide is initiated, then contact can happen. But you still can't hit with the crown of the helmet on the quarterback's head or neck area, or any runner for that matter.
Think about in your playing days. You're a cement truck with a NASCAR engine.
Forget about it.
How are you going to stop yourself?
I wouldn't. I would play one half of an entire season. That's it.
After further review, the ruling on the field of targeting with the crown of his helmet is confirmed. Number 1 is disqualified for the remainder of the game. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's a shame, but I think that's probably the right call, Mark.
It's the right call. It's a terrible rule. Period. That part of the rule is awful. No one was in danger.
The helmet to helmet, though, you have to be careful with that.
You do.
And if you lead with the helmet, you're gonna get ejected. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
That happened.
That you just got to play the game the way the rules are. It is what it is, and that's tough for a guy who has absolutely played his heart out this entire game in Kenny Logan Jr.
Durant has as well, and now Duke is going to look to work on this clock, getting down to 6.5 minutes. And they're in business back in the red zone.
Yeah, and by no means is the game over.
Right.
I mean, it's a 12-point game. And in the big play offense that both of these teams have had, you can score in a minute, in 20 seconds.
Yeah, Coach Cutcliffe and company, they want to get this Back to a 3-score game here as we tick down to 6 minutes. And they're using as much of that play clock as possible. Holmberg. He slides close to the first down. Rich Miller brings him down. Holmberg's a pretty tough kid.
Yeah, he is. And think about the confidence, right, that Jeff Ferris and Dave Cutcliffe have in him to keep the ball in his hands on the ground when you have number 21 in the backfield with you. They are sticking to their game plan. They're being methodical, and now they're letting the clock run. We've seen that fast tempo the whole night. That's not what this down and distance calls for. Control the football, pick up this first down.
Holmberg's going to keep it. He's got a lot of room here. He's going to go for the pylon, and he gets there. Runs right through a defender and scores. That's 4 touchdowns on the ground today for Gunnar Holmberg.
And Gunnar Holmberg, oh, he's walking gingerly, but that's that feel-good pain. You score a touchdown like that, you're a little bit banged up, but boy, does it feel good to be hurting a little bit. I think that he's all right.
May have gotten the wind knocked out of him. You see him down on all fours here in the end zone. On 17 carries, by the way, if I'd have told you before the game started that Gunnar Holmberg would have twice as many carries as Jason Bean.
Forget about it. Yeah, see, that looks like it's a hip pointer or a gut shot.
It might be wind knocked out of him too.
Yeah.
I hope Duke fans hope that that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's the most temporary of all those possibilities. Coming off on his own power and getting a nice ovation, deservedly so, from this crowd here at Wallace Wade.
And he's not hurrying anywhere. he's soaking this up right now because, quite honestly, he's played a really good game and he's bounced back from adversity. You think about the early pick, the early fumble on the handoff, and just he's been consistent in his effort and consistent in the execution following mistakes. And what more can you ask for from a first-year quarterback?
Over 400 yards of total offense. 5 touchdowns responsible for on the day. And a word of wisdom here from his head coach.
Taunting. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the try.
Yeah, that's a no-no for Bobo. You can't get that penalty.
He probably saw his quarterback take that hit and get the ball over. And
let's see. Okay, there's a something. Something was said right there, and there again. Obviously within earshot of one of the officials.
Leipold wants to make sure it was after the play and not during the play. Officials tell him it was. We're going to kick this PAT from 15 yards back.
And Duke putting up 51 points. And it's like, it's not rare, right? They put up 45 already this year against North Carolina A&T, and but you think about, if you have pretty recent memory of last year, there was no shot there even sniffing 50 points.
Right.
This offense has been so much different with Gunnar Holmberg at the helm.
Balanced to 599 yards of total offense, 328 through the air, 271 on the ground. Ham from distance. A little more difficult, no problem for that young man. 52-33. Holmberg, what a day. He'll need some time in the ice bath, though, that's for sure.
Leary with the first go of it with the Wolfpack. Devin to Devin. Devin Carter in the back of the end zone. What a bullet. And it's NC State. Extra point pending. Ruling on a field pending. But they're up right now, 27-21, Connor.
That is an unbelievable finish going on right now at Carter Finley, as we're going to keep an eye on that game. And looks pretty good for Duke here, although Kansas gave him a battle. It's been much of the same story for Kansas all year. They're giving teams battles into the second half, playing hard. He's just being overwhelmed, and that's what happened today by this Duke team. Blue Devils just overwhelming in the fourth quarter. That kick out of bounds, that'll give Kansas good field position.
And you start to see some of the depth
Kick
issues.
off out of bounds. Kicking team number 44. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Coach Cutcliffe saying you've had a perfect game almost. You're making tackles on special teams. You're hitting field goals. You're kicking the ball deep. Got to play to the final whistle, right?
Yeah, and you're kind of mentioning some of the depth issues that Kansas has, especially defensively. I mean, this is a young squad. So much talk about Kenny Logan Jr. this game, and he's played a great game. But the guys behind him, you look at it's just freshman after freshman, and redshirt freshmen. And so that's something that they're excited about, right? Because they have a future with these players. But you get into the fourth quarter in these long physical games, it's tough to sustain.
Lachlan with a nice carry, 10 yards on first down. Terry Mausi on the stop for Duke. And transfers too. I think 6 players transferred in from Buffalo, where Coach Leipold was from, and they're contributing. Nice catch. Lawrence Arnold, Lummy Young on the stop. A couple nice plays here for Kansas to start this drive.
Yeah, and Duke is keeping everything in front of them right now. But I do think that when Jason Bean has been most effective is with that quick 3-step out of the shotgun.
Here he is again. He has a receiver wide open in the middle. It's another big play by Trevor Wilson. He continues his big day.
And you see the comfort in those throws. I mean, it's a first read option. It's a 3-step. You're going to look right to the wide receiver and just sling it in there. That's where he is at his best.
Now with the hitch. Gets it out to Arnold. Slips a tackle near another first down.
I mean, crazier things have happened, Chris. I mean, there's 4:30 left in the clock. If they get in the end zone in the next 2 plays, pick an onside kick, march down the field again, I mean, it's going to be very difficult. But Duke's going to have to not play as soft, especially down in the red zone.
Second down and 1. So Arnold's able to pick up 9 on that play. Pressure now coming on the outside. Bean stays alive, floats this one a little dangerously, but out of bounds. Fry was there to bring the pressure. Did I understand this correctly? Fry came off the bus with a trident today?
Yes. Yeah, and I think a lot of teams have these really cool props. Maybe none more impressive or cool or intimidating than the trident, the scepter.
Right, like Neptune.
Yeah.
Give to Lachlan, nothing doing. Let's see Fry with the trident.
This guy. Does that guy not look like a strength coach? He lives in the weight room right there. Got his trident. Nice handoff, quick nod to coach. Yes, sir.
Cutcliffe is like, go ahead, hand the trident over. It's like an official thing.
Yeah. Well, we talked about Ben Fry, and we talked to him, and look at that. That is Neptune right there. Oh my gosh, he is a wild man, self-described.
Snakes,
holding tridents, emerging out of the water, and then submerging other wrestlers in that lock hold. He's got power, he's got leverage.
Looking like Maximus a little bit there.
This is Sparta. Yeah, he's one of those guys, so fun to talk to too, because you never know what you're going to get with guys who are that kind of eccentric, crazy on the field. He was very mild-mannered. We talked to him, we said, when do you turn it on? He goes, across that white line and I become a different person. And that's pretty much true.
4th down, Kansas going for it, as you would expect them to do inside of 4 minutes, picking up the first down. Keeping this drive alive and keeping their hopes alive. Got to score quickly here, though. Bean to the corner. That one had no shot. Jalen Stinson, who's had himself a real good game on that back end in coverage.
Yeah, Matt Guerrero, defensive coordinator for Duke, he's seen something from number 16. Jalen Stinson, he has had a really good game. Physical, also in the right leverage, consistently on the back end. get guys like that, some young guys, only a true sophomore, you can build off that.
Especially with a guy like Jamaric Woods, the transfer from Michigan, who was out in concussion protocol today, hadn't played it down in this game, so they've needed all the help they can get, and Stinson's been great at that safety spot.
Sure has.
Bean to throw, pressure up the middle. He's going to run it. Stays in bounds and then just out of bounds inside the 5. Nice pickup by Bean. He's right at the first down marker. Let's see where they mark it. This could be first and goal, and it is for the Kansas Jayhawks. Impressed with Bean on this drive. A lot of poise. Going it to nobody in particular there. It looked like he was trying to get it to Wilson, but a little bit of miscommunication.
Although if you're going to miss, you're going to have an incomplete pass. You know, at least it was a quick incomplete pass. Stop the clock, only a couple seconds ran off. And Coach Leipold, you know, he understands, look, whether we win this game or not, whether we get back in it or not, these are great reps for my young quarterback out here in a 2-minute type drill. We need to score now. We need to understand we need to score fast, get the ball back, and score again.
Then get the ball back and score again.
Well, I left that part out.
Bean will look to do it himself. No, now he throws into the end zone. Touchdown. Let's check the marker. Mason Fairchild on the receiving end.
Interesting if Mason Fairchild pushed off at all. He had good separation.
This one's obviously coming back, or they wouldn't be talking about it for this long.
Pass interference. Offense, number 15. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know who they're calling that on. I don't think Leipold knows either.
Yeah, probably not their D end, Kyra Johnson.
The foul was on number 2.
I'm not sure he was on the field for that play, but
that's a costly penalty, though. Moves him way back. Second down and goal from the 19. Being again flushed. He'll keep it out of bounds at the 15. Let's send it to the studio.
Jordan Cornett with your Fansville studio update. Clemson, NC State. It's about to go final right before your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. The last shot, 27-21, Clemson trails. Looking for Justin Ross, ain't gonna get it. NC State gets their first win over an AP top 10 since 2012. Raleigh, rock on, Cotter.
Wow, that's right around the corner from us. That's really close to where we are. We made it to the road trip.
I think I can hear it. Yeah, they're loud there, rushing the field. I wonder what the emotions are like back in studio, though. Eric McClain is probably not too happy.
Right. There might be some costly repairs to the studio.
Yeah, and he's a big body. Yep. He's a big, and once that big body gets moving, it's tough to stop him. So he, check the walls, check the furniture. Talked to Jack Collinsworth, and he took the brunt end of a moving Eric McClain last year.
An interesting day, just got that much more interesting in college football. Very interesting in the ACC and around the country. We have a lot of surprising scores across a bunch of different conferences, and we're going to check on that. Don't forget, we're going to send it to the studio as soon as we wrap up here before North Carolina and Georgia Tech tonight on the ACC network. Third down and goal for Bean in Kansas. Arnold again off his feet down to the 1-yard line. It'll bring up third down. No quit on this Kansas team as those two hook up once again. Fourth down, I should say, rather. Fourth down from the 1-yard line. Obviously, Kansas is going to go. Lachlan in the backfield. Bean pressured out of the pocket. Gets a block from Lachlan, but he's going to need some help. That's intercepted. On fourth down, he had to give it a shot. Tried to get it to Wilson.
First down, Duke.
Thompson was there to pick it off, and that's going to seal Coach Leipold and Jason Bean's fake.
Yeah, and they're going to come away with a loss. Obviously disappointed, but you've learned something, right? You've learned something else about your team. You've learned something else about your quarterback. You've learned something else about the resiliency that your team has. And right now, Jason Bean, he's got to be tired. He's got to feel let down. He's got to feel like, yeah, I could have done more. However, I mean, this was a performance that Jason Bean kind of came out of his comfort zone, threw the ball downfield, hit some really good balls to wide receivers for some big plays. Yeah, there's something to hang your head about because you're going to get a loss, but keep that head up, young man, because you played a really, really good game today.
You can see Jim Zabrowski, the quarterback coach, chatting with him. We've seen that a lot today. Jordan Moore now in the game quarterbacking Duke as they'll look to work on this final 2.5 minutes. Jalen Coleman on the carry. Duke 4 touchdowns and a field goal in the second half on their 5 drives. Very efficient. Kansas just running out of steam a little bit on the defensive end as a steamroll Duke offense, which has been very impressive through now the first 4 games of this year. They'll continue next week, and how about their game next week for the victory bell against North Carolina? Carolina's won it the last 2 times. You know that Gunnar Holmberg and company want to take that victory bell back.
This is going to be a much different Duke football team that North Carolina's going to have to face in this next one. And we talk about learning and what Coach Leipold has learned from his team, but you got to know that Dave Cutcliffe learned just as much from his guys too. They had adversity, they had turnovers, they had big plays against their defense, and the confidence in their offense to go out there and move the ball to sustain drives and come up with big plays of their own. That's something that just you didn't have that faith in this Blue Devil team last year. So much more improved, and the poise comes down to the culture change. It's what he worked on all offseason, kept his guys mentally focused, and it's paid off on the field.
Blue Devils content to run the play clock down as we are just over a minute left to go. Coach Cutcliffe, his team about to improve to 3-1 on the year. A lot of dancing going on around the world of college football. Look, now those are,
hey,
Coach Cutcliffe, those are good moves. Dabo, he ain't dancing today, although he's done a lot of dancing in the last 5 or 6 years. Coach Mac Brown.
Yes.
Duke fans don't like seeing that, but they'll see each other next week.
Maybe the best.
Probably the greatest ever.
Dab. Dab.
How hype would that locker room be right now?
Oh,
Can you imagine that? Coach Beamer.
So good. Beamer, obviously, he's looked up in the stands. He's looked up in the stands. He's seen the kids, the 8-year-olds, double dab, triple dab.
You think Dave Doran is dancing? He's not much of a dancer, but even with that said, he might be dancing today with NC State's big win over Clemson, and at home too. And those fans are great fans. NC State has some great fans. They're going nuts today. We might have to make a road trip to Raleigh after this one.
Oh my goodness.
Next week, such a big game for both Duke and North Carolina. That game going to be played in Chapel Hill. That's a noon kickoff on ESPN2. I want to check that one out. Oh, Sam Howell next week. We'll get to see him tonight against Georgia Tech coming up next on the ACC network.
Gosh, man, that Virginia, you just saw 2 quarterbacks, and Brennan Armstrong and Sam Howell, take control of the game, and came down to like whoever had the ball last. Sam Howell and that offense doesn't have that same production from the same guys as last year, but I mean, Ty Chandler has took over as running back. He was phenomenal in the game. I mean, Josh Downs, he turning out to be an all-world wide receiver. They just keep on reloading the explosive players, and look at the recruiting classes that Mac Brown is throwing together. I mean, they are top of the ACC, top of the country.
Look at the quarterbacks too. We saw Hartman for Wake Forest last night. He's just so solid, and Wake Forest is such a well-coached team. They're unbeaten. Now you throw in what you're seeing from Holmberg here. Another 300-yard passing performance plus what he was able to do with his legs. ACC's got a lot of really good quarterbacks, man.
Yeah, they do. And Malik Cunningham playing the way he's been playing
much better, taking care of the ball better. That's always been the one bugaboo with him, just way too many turnovers, trying to do too much. So one final opportunity for Jason Bean and this Kansas football team. 47 seconds left to go. Out here to Amari Pasek-Hickson. The bigger backs in their stable getting some playing time here. Another young man they're very high on.
Think about that process, right, for Jason Bean. You're playing in North Texas. Fantastic year last year, too. I mean, he had 1,100 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 5 picks, started 7 games, and then, okay, you're going to transfer, and you're going to transfer to a team that has a coach that gets there in April. I mean, you don't really get any much time to work on this offense. First couple of weeks, let his athleticism, like that last play, lead the way. This week we started to see him sit back in the pocket, go through his reads, deliver some really good throws downfield.
How about this? Kansas, you know, their players, think about the quarterbacks. 4 different quarterback coaches since last January.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous.
You talk about continuity, right? Culture. It's so hard when the guy who's standing in the front of the room, you don't even know his name, right? It changes constantly. You gotta get some continuity, and that's what Leipold is set on doing with this Kansas football team.
Bean just rifles that one too hard for Wilson to handle. 300-yard passing day for Bean. So, you know, Holmgren does it with his legs in terms of scoring the touchdowns today, and Bean does it with his arm. 300 yards passing for Bean. Now Holmgren also had 300, or Holmberg rather, also had 300 yards passing. I need some of these Duke math majors to help me figure out all the offense we've seen today.
Isn't that the truth?
Bean with time. Nice catch. In traffic. Lassiter makes the grab. .125 yards and 85 points in this game. Bean. Another 4 yards, 5 yards on the ground. Again, 6 seconds left. There's no quit.
And see, I was going to compliment you because I was going to say that was fast math, Chris. You know, put together the yardage and the point score, but then I saw the whiteboard that Mr. Benetti showed you. So you're good at reading, though, Chris. I tell you what.
Statistician. Matt Williamson, our spotter, done a great job here tonight. This should be the final play of the game. Being flushed out of the pocket. Will again get what he can on the ground, and the clock hits 3 zeros. Our final score, Duke 52, Kansas 33. Coming up next, more college football. Got North Carolina and Georgia Tech. For Jalen Johnson and Mark Herzlich, I'm Chris Cotter. See you next time.
Chris, thank you very much. On the first weekend of fall, welcome to Atlanta. Fans are pouring inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium for this classic Coastal Division matchup. Carolina's in town.
Ball sometimes. He called him an outstanding runner, and it has a lot to do with the work that Sam Howell put in this offseason to be a better runner, and you can see it's paying off. Mac also told us if the game's over, we're not going to run it, but when we're trying to win the game, we're going to use the best assets we have.
Kelsey, thank you very much. Georgia Tech won the coin toss and deferred. Carolina gets it from their own 25, Tim.
And as Kelsey said, you know, Sam Howell has kind of been a dual threat, which has been somewhat of a surprise. I mean, you just look at 251 rush yards and where that ranks him in college football right now. He's a good athlete, but the running, I think even for me and even for Mack Brown, has been somewhat of a surprise.
Also averaging 16.7 yards per completion. That is second in the country coming into today. What a crazy night it's already been in the Atlantic Coast Conference. If you're just tuning in, Clemson lost at NC State in double overtime. The Atlantic Division potentially turned upside down, and an opening perhaps for one of these two clubs tonight. Chandler in the backfield, the Tennessee transfer, the first down carry, nets 3, maybe 4, and he's stopped right near the 30-yard line. Officially a gain of 5. Quez Jackson the stop. Second down coming up, and here comes the tempo. Play action for Howell, wants to heave one deep and has a man. Antoine Green is there, and Howell, too much zest on that pass.
Double move, he just missed him. And Antoine Green is just working a double move here. They had a double move at the top and a double move down on the bottom. See a little fake like he's going to run a curl or an in cut, and Green wins. Trace Willing on Green is a matchup that Georgia Tech is comfortable with, but Antoine Green wins it there. Sam just overshoots it.
Tar Heels, 48% on third down this season. Crowd still filing in Atlanta. Howell, flush from the pocket. He'll have the first down yardage and a lot more. And this is what Sam Howell does.
You're exactly right, Roy. This is a pass by, you know, and this is kind of the killer if you're a defensive coach. Not a design quarterback run, but basically he's just going to end up escaping outside the pocket here as they come with pressure off the edge. See, there's that pressure off the edge, escapes outside the pocket, and you know, as the guys take off and work for him, plenty of room for Sam to run.
Gain of 15 yards to keep the drive going. Opening possession of the night. Play action, the tight end, Garrett Walston, bottled up quickly. Jalen King with a stop. And no gain on the play.
Just to kind of finish up on Sam as a runner. You know, it's one thing to defend the design quarterback runs. You really can practice that. But when you practice the passing game as you get ready to face the Tar Heels, it's really from inside the pocket. But when he's taken off on design pass plays, he's made, you know, created a lot of damage for defenses.
Georgia Tech off a solid loss, shall we say, at Clemson a week ago. 14-8 the final score. Walston running open, and that pass out of bounds. It'll bring up third down quickly for the Tar Heels. King again in coverage.
Yeah, and kind of just, you know, bad spacing on the route combination. They're trying to get Walston on the wheel route, and you've got Green and Downs end up kind of running into each other, and Green falls. That's why I think, you know, Sam kind of threw that one away, not liking the look he got.
Pressure, Howell floats it deep. Green, the intended receiver, double coverage, nearly picked off. Wanye Thomas had the back end of that one covered nicely, Tim.
Yeah, and if you're Georgia Tech, you feel good about Trace Willing's job so far, you know, on Antoine Green. Just, you know, even though he got open on the first one, doesn't on the second one, and quite honestly, you know, the matching those two up, North Carolina hasn't been able to connect on it, and good stop.
Go back to the second half a week ago, and Virginia really unable to get any kind of stops against the Tar Heels. Ben Kiernan kicks it to Kyrick McGowan. His first touch hit hard, driven down at the 19. It's a punt of 42, a return of 4, and we expect to see Jordan Yates. It's been a big mystery this week here in the ATL. Who will get the start? And we think it'll be Yates, and we also expect to see Jeff Sims on occasion tonight.
We do, and Jordan Yates obviously came in the opener when Jeff Sims was injured and did a really nice job, kind of rallied the football team, had a few amazing plays, and I think he's played well, you know, with this opportunity he's been given.
Former 3-star prospect, according to ESPN, and of course the nephew of the great TJ Yates, all-time leading passer in North Carolina history. Yates escapes play one, tripped up, and a shoestring tackle to stop him for a gain of 4 by Blahasic.
And that's the kind of stuff I feel like I have been, you know, kind of a nice addition to this Georgia Tech offense. They're trying to throw a little wide route to the running back. It gets covered. Be quick, decisive with it, and pick up a few yards. You'd be thrilled with a 4-yard run on first down.
McCowan in motion. 5-man front for Carolina. Cowan gets it on the screen and stopped crossing the 25, a 3-yard gain, so 3rd and manageable upcoming.
Yeah, and because you're staying on schedule. McCowan's a guy, Roy, that I think is, you know, the transfer from Northwestern. He's a strong runner. Ball in his hands. He's a good, strong runner. He has plenty of speed. But I think as many opportunities they can get him with the ball on the perimeter, Georgia Tech will take.
Handoff straight ahead to Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs his first touch, and he'll be stopped short by about 1.5 yards. Kyler McMichael, transfer from Clemson, got there first.
Kind of an interesting play call in that situation.
That's a carryover from the second half last week at Clemson.
Yeah, a little bit, and I think that, you know, what's interesting there is that this team is, you know, a pretty heavy run pass option team, and so you would think that, you know, given the look that you want, you might take it. Jeff Sims, I think, is
David Shanahan on the field for the first time. Downs back deep to receive. Number 11 gets his tips on the ball. That punt's going to be blocked. It was blocked. Tech recovers, but North Carolina will get it in plus territory when we come back. Giovanni Biggers tried to sneak in there, may have gotten a fingertip on it there, Tim.
Yeah, there's no doubt that there was contact there. Biggers was able to get in there. You see it, it's just a good job in an interior rush. Just kind of runs through the block and does an excellent job of kind of getting a foot out in front of that ball before it's punted. Wow. Big play by the Tar Heel special teams.
Junior out of Woodbridge, Virginia, the first big play of the night. Favor the team in white. You take a shot here on first down after the block kick.
Well, first down's been an opportunity against this Georgia Tech defense.
Howell wanted to go deep, no one open, right through the gloves. Antoine Green swilling in coverage. Now the big talk around the country a week ago, Georgia Tech holding Clemson at just 14 points. Tigers couldn't run it, Tigers couldn't throw it. 3-3-5, the odd stack was in play, and we expect to see some of that tonight, right?
Yeah, and we're looking at it right now, and you know, it's the same scheme that North Carolina faced a week ago.
Chandler in the backfield, quickly exited, and a pass caught for a first down to Green to gain of 14 yards.
And clearly, it's already defined itself. The one-on-one that North Carolina is getting is Antoine Green on Trey Swilling. They've tried it 3 times now, and I would expect that they continue to do it because Green has won.
Yeah, you and I kind of wondered too, what would they do with Josh Downs? Would they try to double cover him? Would that open the door for somebody else? So far it's been Green, and on cue in the flats to Downs, and he'll pick up 3.
Yeah, and that's a good example. They essentially are rolling coverage to Downs. Downs plays in the slot, and so it's a little easier to disguise when you're giving him extra attention with a player inside and over the top.
After the stop by Thomas, they'll run it with Howe. Another first down for Carolina. There he goes, Sam Howe for the touchdown. Are you serious?
The initial move
from 23 yards out, North Carolina on the scoreboard first, and how about that?
This is an incredible run by Sam Howe. First, look at the move in space. Keep on the zone read. That's an excellent job, and then running through contact. Wesley Walker there. You know, Ely there. I mean, it's crazy that he had that type of power. So the move in space and then the power to finish. Heck of a run.
Carolina off the block kick, converts quickly, and Sam Howe getting it done.
Listen, it's Sam Howe. We mentioned it at the Open. Doing a lot of damage this season with his legs. Does it here against the Yellow Jackets for the opening score.
You rip and tear your old statements and bills and simply toss those old bottles of pills. But thieves use this information to steal your identity. Don't be a victim. Get the ID Police, the new ink roller that encrypts all your old documents. So before you throw it out, just roll it on and your information is gone. Look, an identity thief can use simple information to get access to your credit card. Then you're responsible for the bills. But ID Police permanently prints a unique encryption graphic that makes it impossible to read through, both on the front and through the back, even if the paper is held up to the light. And it works on all forms of paper, matte or glossy. Paper shredders are slow and always jam, but roll with ID Police and you're in control. Watch again. Here's a bank statement with your name and account number. Now, one easy roll and all your personal information is blocked. Name and address? Blocked. Credit card number? Blocked. Phone, electricity, and gas bill? Now they're all safe to toss in the trash. So relax. Even your medical information is safe with the ID Police. And those applications or pre-approved checks make you vulnerable too. So block it out before you throw it out and thwart any thief with the ID Police. Order now and get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 and get free shipping too. That's right, free shipping. This offer is not available on Amazon, but it is available online or on the phone. So call or click now to get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 with free shipping. Take control with ID Police on patrol. Order now.
Call 1-800-479-3840. That's 1-800-479-3840. Or visit getidpolice.com. So call 1-800-479-3840. Order now.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. Got that sunshine on my Sunday bed.
Yeah, reason to celebrate when you're able to run for a touchdown and bowl over about 4 Georgia Tech defenders in the process. Sam Howell talking things over with offensive play caller Phil Longo on the sidelines. 23-yard scoring scamper for number 7, getting it done. Tim Hasselbeck, Roy Philpott, Kelsey Riggs inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and now Georgia Tech, an important possession, trailing for the first time.
Yeah, you want to see your response. I mean, think about it. You get stopped, go to punt, punch is blocked, you hand over good field position to North Carolina, and then it's always deflating when you see a run like that from the opposing team's quarterback running through contact. And so, yeah, I would agree. Important to have, at a minimum, sustain some type of drive.
Yates back on the field from the 25. Gibbs joins him in the backfield. McCowan will shift, fake the screen. There goes Yates back to the line, and 1 more yard. That's it. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and a similar thing happens. I feel like Jordan Yates thinks that the defensive end is going to peel on the back, and doesn't throw the wide route because of it. And last first down gained 4 yards. That one gains just 1.
First contact by Miles Murphy. You love those defensive linemen that wear the single digits. I love that. It's a great look. I don't care who you are. Time for Yates, spins it, pass is caught. Ahead to the 30, and that's it. Malachi Carter picks up 5 yards.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of this, I think, from Georgia Tech, where they get in these really wide splits. You see Malachi Carter is running a hitch route, but he basically catches it about 1 to 2 yards away from the sideline, just really trying to spread North Carolina out. Not necessarily doing it to pass the football, Roy, doing it to get better run looks, especially for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Tech trying to not go 3 and out. Their first 2 possessions tonight. Offense has been a work in progress at times. McCowan motions out. Pressure. Down goes Yates. Miles Murphy. That's a loss of 11. And what do we say about the single digits for the defensive lineman at Carolina?
Well, and here's what happens. Gimmel's come in here, and because of that, the guard is going to come down. You have 2 going for 1, which is the bust. The center and the guard blocking 1, and no one blocking the defensive tackle, which is why Miles Murphy comes free and gets home for the sack.
Now, Jay Bateman told us this week he's going to be a special player, Miles Murphy. Gave you a quick glimpse of that right there. Fast start for the Tar Heels on the road, a place they have not won as a ranked team versus an unranked opponent in their last 3 tries. Downs, head to the 34. It's a punt of 53. And a return of 7. There is a penalty marker down.
During the kick, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 0 on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the end of the run. That is number 0's first unsportsmanlike.
Jaquarius Conley, the guilty party as we step aside in Atlanta.
Gosh it, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip Hop Group Tag Team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Attention foodies. With this fusion of prime rib steak, melted provolone, and other magical melty stuff, Arby's is now officially a fusion restaurant. Chef Smooch, Arby's, we have the meat.
Dustin Poirier wanted a better life, built it. Wanted respect, earned it. Wanted a title, won it. Decided to change the world, doing it. You know how my man keeps accomplishing everything he sets out to do? He believes that he can. Guaranteed Rate is a mortgage lender who understands the power of belief. First home, dream home, whatever your goal, you can make it real. Because if you believe, you will.
Smile Direct Club. These are Smile Direct Club aligners. They can turn a smile like this into a smile like this in as little as 4 to 6 months for less than $3 a day. Choose Smile. Get started for free at SmileDirectClub.com.
Tommy John has been dedicated to elevating underwear for over a decade. Now, we're proud to reveal our most premium men's underwear yet. This is Apollo. All new, ultra breathable, rigorously tested for durability, and enhanced with exclusive dry release tech. We've upgraded the softness and the level of comfort, so don't be surprised if your confidence is upgraded too. Experience high-end for your rear end at TommyJohn.com and get 20% off your first order.
ACC Network Primetime Football is presented by Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance.
Well, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home to so many fantastic events and Super Bowls over the years. Tim Hasselbeck, Roy Philpott, Kelsey Riggs. What row were you on at the Jay-Z Beyonce concert?
I don't remember. We had a blast, Roy. That was a good time.
I could totally see that. It's a great venue, and this will be the first of 6 times Georgia Tech will be playing inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Mayhem at MBS is what they call it. And next year they'll open the season against Clemson, which I imagine it'll be a packed house. But we shall see. Different configuration tonight. Capacity at 42,500, similar to what they do in the Atlanta United MLB team. Is on the pitch. Ty Chandler, the carry, a short gain. Go back to that penalty, and I think a little extracurricular here for numeral 0.
Yeah, and you know, at the top of the screen, Jaquarius Conley gets a great block, does an excellent job, and that's fine. It's what happens after it right there with the point that is essentially a taunting, unsportsmanlike conduct that cost his team 15 yards. It's really a shame. You're actually better off holding the guy. You get a good block, don't penalize your team.
Howe, quick slant is there. Big hit on Downs. He still held on to it. That's a first down. King laid the lumber, but he picked up 15.
This is actually a really nice play by both guys. Josh Downs obviously catching the ball through contact, and then Jalen King of making a play against the receiver coming across the middle the way you should, keeping his head out of it and hitting him kind of below that head and neck area.
But the toughness of Downs going back to last week. A crease for Chandler, bolting across the 40. Watch this hit again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's Jalen King. That's exactly how they want you to make the hit, and then that's exactly what you want out of your wide receiver, Roy. You're exactly right. At his size, to go over the middle with that courage, 5'10", 180 pounds, and then hops right back up.
Josh Downs coming back home. Grew up about 30 minutes away in Sewanee, Georgia. He was excited. This Tar Heel football program was excited. You got a lot of Peach State natives on the roster. Inside give. Another first down for Carolina. Ty Chandler churning the leg. Stopped at the 48 by Ely. That's a gain of 8.
And look at the space that North Carolina is creating in the run game. You know, last week the Tar Heels played 8 different offensive linemen and obviously, you know, covered a lot of ground running the football against Virginia. Seems like they're picking up right where they left off, creating running lanes for these backs.
DJ Jones on the field. Morales in motion. All night for Howell. Well, he wanted to unload one deep, couldn't get there. And he was tripped up by Quez Jackson down to Kelsey.
Well, guys, I'm hanging out on the Georgia Tech sidelines and was listening in with the defense after that last touchdown score from Sam Howell. And the main thing we heard from their defensive coordinator, Andrew Thacker, all week was we've got to make sure that they feel us. On the sidelines, linebacker Charlie Thomas jumped up and said, hey, we're good. We got to tackle. They said, when you see the ball, get to it. Don't wait for it. It was really the emphasis that we heard from them all this week, guys.
Yeah, no question about it. Howe sacked for a 1-yard loss on that last play. 2nd and 11. Downs back in, and he'll get another touch, and he's stopped behind the line. Charlie Thomas, Kelsey just talked about him, makes the TFL there for a loss of 2.
And then trying to crease it like a jailbreak. It's a really nice job by Georgia Tech. Basically, this is a wrinkle offensively for North Carolina. They try to run that bubble screen, wide receiver screen to Downs so often. But now they start on the bubble screen, and then they try to slice back underneath it, almost like an inside jailbreak screen. But Georgia Tech defense there to make the play.
3rd and 13. Tech faithful coming to life here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Off the back foot, Howell couldn't get rid of it. Down he goes behind the 35. Pick your poison, a trio of jackets. Jordan Dominic got there first. Tim, that's a loss of 12.
Yeah, it was Jordan Dominic, but you're right, pick your poison, because Kyle Kennard does a good job of winning as well. It's coming off of this side. Kennard wins, and then you win inside there. And basically, Sam Howell kind of just ends up getting stuck with the football, almost like they won so fast. You know, McKevius Scott won so quickly, he turned around thinking it had to be a screen just because there was a bust up front.
Ben Kiernan. Cowan waves for the fair catch. He'll make it at the 19. Punt of 48 yards. Tech gets it back, trailing by a touchdown after this.
You would never see that. Use the trap though.
A big bow box says a lot about a person. Like they have a mighty hunger, a powerful thirst, and take tailgating very seriously. Game day and beyond, grab a football-ready big bow box.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want, with all the entertainment you love, for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
You think you know Rose Namajunas? Rose lost her first title fight. Flat out lost. But right then and there, she made a decision to stop just fighting and start believing she would become a champion. And look who's #1 now. Guaranteed Rate is a mortgage lender that helps people rise every day. Rise from where they live now to the home of their dreams. Because when you decide to believe, you will.
If you walk with a traditional cane, you could be causing crippling pain. Traditional canes force you to walk hunched over, head down, and unstable, which creates debilitating back, neck, and joint pain. Take your next step upright, secure, and with less pain with the Campbell Posture Cane, the ingenious walking cane that allows you to walk more upright, changing your line of sight so you look forward instead of down.
It gives me more support, and I don't have to worry about falling.
The secret is in the revolutionary Campbell handle that takes the pressure off your shoulder and wrist, placing you in a natural, pain-free position.
The Campbell Posture Cane works by supporting the strength of your body using biomechanical engineering to dramatically improve your posture and feel less pain.
The Campbell Posture Cane has given me my freedom back.
You can get your Campbell Posture Cane for the factory direct price of just $39.99. It comes with the Campbell Gold Medallion money-back guarantee. Call or go online to CampbellCane.com. That's CampbellCane.com.
Back inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Jordan Yates, Jeff Sims. We expect to see both signal callers out there tonight. But Yates back on the field, Tim Hasselbeck, and we'll see exactly how much longer this continues.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they've been in enough of an offensive rhythm to have an evaluation of Jordan Yates or feel like you need to make a move to get Jeff Sims involved.
Sims is now healthy after an elbow injury way back in week 1. Inside handoff, Gibbs with all kinds of real estate. Jahmyr Gibbs off and running. First big play of the night for Tech, ushered out at the 48. That's a gain of 28.
Yeah, and you can just see his speed and his burst. He's able to bounce this one outside, and you know, it's a good job of everyone, and an excellent job by Kyra McGowan blocking on the perimeter. And you can see why Gibbs is really viewed as one of the more dangerous backs in the conference.
Yeah, so explosive. Give him an inch, he'll take 10 yards this time. Power rush over left tackle, and a gain of 3 was stopped by Jeremiah Gimmel.
Yeah, and you said power rush. That's a pretty good example. Gimmel's unblocked, and Gibbs is still able to kind of fall forward for a 3-yard gain. He is a unique back in that he's got great power, he's got really good speed, and I think he was described to us at one point as a super athlete. You know, somebody can kind of do it all. You know, get him involved in the passing game also.
This Carolina defense under the spotlight after giving up 554 through the air a week ago against Brennan Armstrong, but only, 28 on the ground. So it was kind of, we'll let you throw it, but we think we're going to be good enough to win, and indeed they were. Yates sidesteps a defender, picks up another first down in Carolina territory. Give him 8.
And you want to see quarterbacks that are good decision makers, and this is what he does here. Basically, he's going to read this defensive lineman. If he ends up widening out, it's Gimmel actually as he comes up there. He widens, that's who they're reading, that defender, and then Jordan Yates ends up keeping it inside. Good decision. You know, not all decisions for the quarterback are in the passing game, many of them in the run game.
All night. Yates will buy some extra time, fling it incomplete, contact McGowan, and here comes 2 penalty markers down. That'll be pass interference and a first down for Georgia Tech.
Pass interference, 0, defense. Penalty will be at the spot of the foul. Automatic, first
Second
down.
infraction on Jaquarius Conley, Tim.
Yeah, and he's early. And, you know, McGowan does a great job of working for his quarterback, and, you know, the cast on Conley's wrist probably doesn't help him much because you see the contrast of the color as he kind of uses that offhand to grab the hip of McGowan, and good job of working for your quarterback.
You don't mind the matchups with Tech's receivers against the Carolina cornerbacks tonight, right?
Well, I think that the Carolina, you know, corners have struggled, you know, and I know that Mack and his coaching staff feels like it's the best group that they've had since they've been here, but you know, last week was a fairly rough outing against Virginia.
Gibbs straight ahead, and a short pickup on first down. Murphy the tackle after the 2-yard gain.
But you know, playing corner, I think there's just so much in terms of confidence about playing the cornerback position. And listen, these corners are coached by Dre Bly, a guy that played with plenty of confidence, had a ton of success. It's about just, you know, making the play at the moment of truth. I mean, think about the play to Conley there, you know, as he's running with McGowan. You know, he probably didn't need to interfere with him.
They'll roll Yates out. Could be a holding call. Let's see if there's a flag down. There is not. Pass is caught. Kalani Norris reels it in. That'll move the sticks once again for Georgia Tech.
And this is outstanding timing by Jordan Yates. The ball comes out. You know, he starts his throwing motion, you know, prior to Norris getting into his break. Look at this ball come out. See the timing right as he's turning around for the football. It's a good job. Good having trust in your receiver.
As a catch. Previous play is under further review.
They're going to take another look at that. I thought for a second, too, that Gibbs may have held Gimmel as 44 tried to accelerate towards the quarterback. There was no marker, so, of course, that's not reviewable. And let's see if possession was established by the sophomore out of Miami.
See if he catches it the first time, because his foot is in bounds when he catches it. It does not look like that football moves. Yeah, that's a catch. And, you know, I think we can expect to see when Jordan Yates is the quarterback, because of his height, that they're going to move the launch point, try to get him outside the pocket to create clearer lanes of vision for him to see. And that's a really good throw right to the face mask of Norris. And I'm not sure why they'd need to look at that. Pretty clear he has
it. After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Catch. First down.
I mean, Yates has got a little moxie to him, right? He's not as tall as Sims, but he can do some different things, extending plays, making things happen down the field like what we just saw there.
Yeah, I've been impressed generally with how he has just kind of come in and compete. And you know, you want your quarterback to make good decisions, be competitive, protect the football, and I think he's done a good job of that.
Rick Page, our replay official, confirmed the call on the field, rightfully so. First down, Georgia Tech. Quick movement at the line. Yates retreating, and he's just going to throw this one away. 2 penalty markers down, and let's see if Carolina jumped the line of scrimmage earlier. What was happening? Or perhaps holding.
Holding. Offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Jordan Williams, the starter at right tackle tonight, and he's a true freshman.
Yeah, but I would agree with you. There's been a kind of a unique look. See Williams, he's right out here. And we talked about Miles Murphy earlier, and as Yates tries to escape outside the pocket, you see his right arm grab that shoulder. And
Murphy let him know.
Murphy's kind of like, hey, listen, my job's hard enough. We don't need to let these guys